pa 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 pum. Pa 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 pum. Was good, Master Byron, el Josefoen. Yo avisé, amigos. Ahí, esto no la dejen de ver, qué pendejo. What's up, sample text was good. Alright, we're gonna make this matchup chart. I'm just gonna tweet it out first. One sec. Hope there's no porn. There shouldn't be, but sometimes the For You page on Twitter is kinda weird. What the fuck, Shinymark? ¿Qué dice amigo Jonter? A ver. ¿Cómo sería? Shinymark, Pikachu matchup chart en vivo / live. Come through. Vénganse. En mí. Link below at Choice Gaming. I forgot how to stream, dude. Dun, 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 dun. Yo, what's good, Yofi5? Welcome, dude. Yofi, why did you subscribe with Prime, bro? That's my goat. Thank you so much, man. How's the audio on the stream, by the way? Hope that wasn't like too loud. Just let me know, cause I'm a noob right now. I'm really a noob. Oh, me vengo. Marcus versus Iski, easy win? It wasn't easy. It was tough. That matchup's hard. Alright, let me just record like a story for my Instagram. Follow me on all my socials, bro. It really helps me out, and my team really wants me to have better numbers and at least the streams on YouTube. They're happy with my post numbers. Alright, I'll be right back. I'll just make this quick. Bro, I feel so out of place. I have a little bit of panic on streaming right now, but it's fine, it's fine. I'll get the hang of it. Obvio, el mejor Pikachu gana. Es que Pikachu gana casi todas las matchups. No soy yo, es el personaje. Ok, Loki sí soy yo, pero Loki... Haiki es una gran parte del personaje, solo es difícil. Shiny Mark 1. By the way, does anyone know how like the copyright things work? Like having audio? Because I've seen a lot of streamers of Smash just using the audio of the game with no copyright issues, you know? So I'm not sure if I should use this, because I definitely want to make this a YouTube video. And if it's an issue, honestly, I don't mind it not being monetized, because I'm not trying to do that. So is that an issue still, or no? Does anyone know? Alright, 1 second. Let me just tag my sponsor. ABC, thanks for the follow, bro. ¿El Smash no tiene? O sea, CP? Wow. Ok. Really good, the audio is crisp, pero por el guión saca el movimiento. Y el bebé, no eres tú, son tus manos. Es Pikachu. Y también, sí, es que sí se necesitan manos para Pikachu. Pero la verdad es que está muy pendejo el personaje. Muy pendejo. I told you I'll be there no matter what. Oh, you're the guy that posted the meme. That shit is so funny, dude. Alright. So yeah, let's get started. Alright. Gonna be doing this mostly in English, but if anyone... Por el chat para que se vea en la pantalla también. ¿Debería? ¿Dónde lo pondría? Como una esquinita. Abajo derecha, ¿verdad? No, Hunter, eso es en el futuro. Esto es un experimento. This is an experiment. This is mostly informational. ¿Ok? Esto es información. ¿Qué opinas de Steve? Muy roto, pero no tan roto como la gente cree. Should be fine, but Whole Bastion is the only stage that can't have any issue. I know that, okay, I've been aware of that. Ando luchando por subir la élite, quiero sacar un torneo. Metafy, sale un Metafy para que te ayude. No, pero en serio, he ido mucha gente a salir de pools, de ganarle a sus demons en bracket, incluso ser los mejores de su estado. El H4 fue mi estudiante. ¿Irás al torneo en octubre de El Salvador? No, estaré en Rising Grind, desafortunadamente para El Salvador. Yo sí quería ir, pero los estaré apoyando. En el futuro, yo te enseño... No, yo sé cómo se hace, solo no lo quiero saber ahorita. Upload it to YouTube whenever you get the chance. Will do. Alright, I'm just gonna wait a little bit longer, just like a second more, because I just want a little bit more people to get here, okay? Let me just put this in. I just want to have the creator dashboard over here. Dude, I feel very, very new to this. Okay, I think this is really good right now, okay. Yeah, I think the bitrate is also fine. Don't think there's any issues there. There's not. Alright. Any of you guys, let me know if there's like any issues at all. But there really shouldn't be. CMSB, thanks for the follow. I will check. I will check. Alright. So let's get started. I'm again new to this, so I'll try my best. You should add German to the languages. I'm not comfortable with the German right now, honestly. Okay, so what's up everyone? Today we're gonna be making a matchup chart for Pikachu, the best character in the game. Maybe not, maybe it is, but we'll see. But yeah, the way I'm gonna be trying to list this is basically gonna talk about like what Pikachu's strengths are in the matchups, what his weaknesses are, where I think he is in the meta, and basically, first off, I just want to give a small rundown on like what makes him, what determines his matchups, right? So a lot of Pikachu stuff, let's open Ultimate Frame Data real quick, is basically depending on how much he can use Thunder Jolt, how much he can just poke safely at people, with like for example his, well, down tilt is honestly pretty universal, with forward air, with how useful T-Jolt is, how important quick attack and dash attack with punishing is, how applicable his out of shield is, how safe his moves are, how much he can combo some characters, how much he can edge guard them. But generally, the thing about Pikachu is he is honestly a very, very complete character that has enough tools, even if it becomes really taxing and really hard, to deal with literally everything in this game, even Game & Watch, and I'll talk about it when I get there. But yeah, so for now I just want to do this in an alphabetical way, and yeah, let's get started. So we're gonna make it so that Pikachu is top 1. I low-key still think he is. I think it's debatable right now between Pikachu, Sonic, Steve, and maybe Aegis, but it's fine. Hola YouTube. So we're gonna do this in first off, let's do -1. And again, I'm gonna be doing this in Spanish, and well, mostly English, but if anyone like asks me something in Spanish, I'll be sure to answer it. And yeah. Also, if anyone wants me to speak about a character like immediately, you can subscribe or donate, and I'll make sure to do that. Y amigos en español, yo voy a estar viendo el chat de vez en cuando, y si miro su pregunta en español la voy a responder en español, no se preocupen. Y lo que acabo de decir es que si quieren que repita algo o si quieren que hable de un personaje inmediatamente, solo donen o suscríbanse y haré eso en ese momentito. A ver... Okay, chat is a little bit hectic right now for my taste, but we'll see how that goes in a little bit. I think I'm just gonna go to +2, cause I I think going +3. I'm just gonna say +2 or worse, honestly. Alright, I think that's much easier. Y bueno, solo voy a leer el chat. I'm gonna read the chat real quick and then we'll start. Easy win. A ver, espero llegues a top 5 y si es posible ganar por ti. Iré a ver si ayudo a renombrar Guato con ustedes. Me parece muy bien, amigo. Aquí estoy para ayudar. T-Jolt is way too good. Incredibly broken move. Like, easily a top 5 neutral V in the game. Yo, guys, thank you all for the follow. Sorry if I don't see, like, all the notifications. Not used to this yet, but I'll try my best. But Victor, R-Master, Jinx, and Wichin, gracias por los follows. Thanks for the follows. Played your advice in the Game & Watch matchup, and now I'm godlike in it. It's a very disciplined matchup, but very, very doable. PT Pikachu even? No. I hate the PT matchup, bro. It's so hard. No, it's not that hard. It's annoying. We just died really early. It's very tight, I'd say. You doing this in alphabetical order? Yes, I'll be doing this in alphabetical order. No hablo de Nueva York, solo diré plátano. Estaré hablando español y inglés. No se preocupen, amigos. Don't worry, I'll be speaking both English and Spanish. So many matchups for Pika feels like it's so hard, but also we win. You need to be aware of a lot of stuff, you know. Ranquearlos en el orden que salieron, sí o qué, no. Es más fácil solo buscarlos en orden alfabético, amigo. Creo que yo también lo pensé antes de... Pika es Clan vs Even. Casi, pero... Y podría hacerlo, pero vamos a hablar. Okay, let's get started. Let's do Banjo first. So, little Banjo, he is pretty bad in the meta. I think right now I could see it rise to +1, honestly. I think I low-key might give it the benefit of the doubt. But the thing about Banjo is he has the eggs, right? And he has the grenade, the down beam, which the counterplay to eggs, it's basically just like a slower, less frame advantage safe Thunder Jolt, right? And also, he doesn't have as good as frame data as Pikachu. He doesn't have nearly as good out of shield. He has pretty bad out of shield also. And he's just very not... He doesn't get that much for how much unsafer he is versus Pikachu. The only thing he has is Wonder Wing Cheese. But a really important thing about Pikachu in the meta right now is he can just choose to go below the stage against characters that can 2-frame us to like cheese us, you know, between both 2-frames and also like dumb ledge trapping, like Samus, for example, right? So if you're ever in danger to like getting down tilt 2-framed or Wonder Wing 2-framed, whatever, just go below the stage, bro. Like, you're not gonna die. And then Banjo struggles to kill, gets edge guarded. You can like jump off stage preemptively to hit him before they do the Wonder Wing. And then, honestly, he just struggles with neutral a lot. He just has good-ish kill power. So honestly, I'm not even gonna give him the benefit of the doubt. I'm gonna say +2. I don't think it's worse than +2, but yeah. Honestly, it's a very, very simple matchup. But sadly, the bear is not that good in this meta. Banjo top 20? No. Alright. Let's now... And also, if you guys want me to talk about the matchup a little more, have like any specific questions, you can always ask me. I'll be reading the chat slightly, or you can donate, you can subscribe, whatever. If you subscribe or do anything with money, I'll do whatever you want. Let's do Bayonetta now. So Bayo, I'm gonna put us +1. I think a lot of Pikachus used to think this matchup was a lot easier than it actually is nowadays. The thing about Bayo, right, is that basically she has really good out of shield. She has really incredible burst range. The damage output is ridiculous, and if Pikachu and Bayonetta both decide to fight each other, it is pretty hard for Bayonetta, honestly. But if Bayonetta chooses not to fight us, it's a war of who gets the lead first. Luckily for us, honestly, between being smart with Thunder Jolts, you know, you can honestly still use Thunder Jolt from long range to like make them waste Witch Time and just stale it. And then you can use Thunder Jolt eventually and approach with it, so that if it does get Witch Time, nothing really happens, and then you're playing a Scramble next to her, which is honestly pretty good. You have to stay really grounded because that's her whole thing. She is really good at like burst ranging in the air. One fun fact is that Pikachu, if he's crouching literally next to Bayonetta, she can actually aerial. She cannot aerial side B us, even if we're point blank, right? So what that means for the matchup is we can just honestly crouch. We can mash down tilt to like just check dash ins, and then at that point, all we need to be ready for is the in between timings between our down tilts of like them grounded sign being us. But if they do that, we can just shield and then just out of shield punish, you know? So, in theory, if we are really disciplined and we know what they're looking for, their approaches are going to be much more committal than ours. But it's definitely a very big war on who gets the lead first, you know? She can just run circles around us, and it's really hard. I played a set with Lima at Collision. Honestly, I wasn't that aware of the matchup at that point, but they just circle camped a ton. Honestly, it was game 5, and I wasn't aware of like how well Bayonetta could circle camp. But now I know that you can T-jolt a lot. Honestly, you should be doing quick attacks to like catch the landings from far away. And T-Jolt is really good at stopping her from flanking, which I was trying to challenge head on, which is not smart at all. So yeah, it's just a matter of we are generally safer in general than her. But it's definitely a really annoying matchup, and you have to know it for sure. A ver, Pit Pika even trust, we'll see. No, it's not. Me suscribí, no salió la alerta, de plano está lento, no sé, ahorita solo me salió el de Yofi. Is the stream VOD gonna be posted anywhere? It's gonna be up after the stream, but it's also gonna be a YouTube video eventually. Probably gonna try to get subtitles on it also for Spanish. Just gotta stay grounded more, a lot more for sure. Creo que nunca volverías a hacer streams. Ahí veremos, ahí estaré tratando de hacerlo porque me pidió ahí Lead Racer de Shorty's Gaming. Crouch walk broken. Yeah, for sure. Would you say Rising Thunder to threaten the side B in the corner is too risky? Yeah, probably, yeah, for sure. I wouldn't really advise it, especially against Bayonetta, which just does so much damage out of nowhere, dude. Like, literally, an up B out of shield can lead into 50%. So yeah. Then, let's go into Bowser. Easy +2. The only thing about this matchup, and I'll actually pull the frame data out for this, is that Bowser's out of shield is very quick. Let's go all the way down here. It is frame 6. So that means that your forwarders and your down tilts are going to be the only completely safe things against him. And your forwarders have to be pretty much perfect, right? You have to either space them or just auto-cancel them perfectly. But honestly, if you just bait the up B out of shield with movement, you should be fine. Thunder Jolting is really free in this matchup. We just get really long combos, and Bowser's disadvantage state is really bad. Gets edge guarded, gets juggled, really struggles to approach us safely. Not sure how safe forward there is on shield. -9, so that's always out of shieldable for us. Then the only thing you have to be aware of is, again, neutral B and forward tilt 2 frames. Those are definitely going to be really important. But again, as this is going to be a recurring theme, just go below the stage. You're not going to get 2-framed. It's literally never going to hit you, and you just go to the other side. So you never die by like random timing RNG from like the 2 frames. And at that point, we basically don't have a disadvantage today against Bowser. He's not going to 2-frame us. He might let's trap us eventually, but it's okay. And honestly, he doesn't really juggle as well. His neutral is tough. So yeah, rough matchup for sure. We full bridge Bowser, right? We do, but the thing about bridging heavies and just like thick characters is it's really easy to just get the sweet spot and not get like the actual bridge follow-ups, you know. Para cuando ronde Coinbox no me concentra en stream, algún día lo haré. So you can ban PS2 because you cannot recover to the other side? Yes, that's a really big thing with Pikachu. Here's a little secret that I do. I usually just see, okay, can this character 2-frame me from below the stage? If the answer is yes, so like examples like Bowser, Sonic, Diddy can do the C-drop banana, etc. then I will basically usually auto ban PS2 because I value not dying off of random timings way too much. And this means we can honestly just like jump off stage against jugglers, not get edge guarded, not get two framed, and only just play the ledge trapping mix up at that point, you know, which we still have quick attack privilege, which is really, really good. You can stall under PS2 for so long. Yeah, but there are characters like Bowser, for example, that can just do the neutral V, the flame breath, and that's just a linger in two frame, you know. So like against Ness or like Bowser, they can just hold it there, and like your stalling isn't even gonna matter, you know. Or eventually they can just guess at timing, and you might just die, you know. So that's why I don't really enjoy it. I don't think it's a bad stage per se, but I just don't enjoy the two frames, you know. All right, let's move on. Bowser Jr. See, the thing about this character, I think he's very underrated. I think, but the thing is, I don't think the reason why he's underrated are reasons that are good against Pikachu. Because I think he generally shouldn't get much time to like set up the Mecha Koopa. The side B gets Thunder Jolted, we can just like hit him from above or just... he doesn't have good frame data, he doesn't have good out of shield if we space. He doesn't have safe on shield pressure. So we can just play for center stage because he's gonna be walling us for the most part, you know. Wait till he corners himself and then just pressure him on the corner really well. His forward smash 2 frame again, just go below the stage, it's fine. And he does get edge guarded. But sometimes he just randomly does a lot of damage. But yeah, doesn't side B go through T-Jolt? It does, yeah, but so what I was trying to say is like when you're playing neutral, you can just do the T-Ult, and then if he does activate the side B, you can just react accordingly. You know, just like jump above, shield it, and then from the shield pressure, he's probably gonna be in the air, so he gets juggled or he ends up on the corner. So now he gets corner camped, and just the existence of T-Jolt is just passive damage. You know, passive damage or eventually just getting stage control. We get a random hit, and that's like a huge combo or like a really good disadvantage state, which generally is gonna lead into him being off stage, and yeah, then that's just Corrin's, you know. Sometimes he just dies. It's just a matter of us having really, really good applicable neutral, and him struggling to get those really big hits in safely against Pikachu more than anything, and not having like really, really strong cheese. If you're aware of how to deal with the 2 frames, not get hit by like side B, up B, if that's like your whole goal, you know. So yeah, honestly, I'm gonna put it at +2. T-Jolt has a 50% chance of losing to T-Jolt. If it hits his head, then it loses. Oh, okay, then that's really useful. Yeah, that mechanic is dumb. Just him getting hit on the head just leads to a lot of damage. Alright, Byleth. I used to think this matchup was +1, because Spargo used to hand the matchup to me. I was really bad at the matchup, and obviously he's incredible as a player. But then I learned it, and it's... Byleth is just slow, honestly. If you're just playing around forward air range, just ask yourself, will I get hit for setting this T-Jolt up, you know? If the answer is yes, then don't set it up. Just play with your shield, play with movement, walk a lot. Be ready to parry forwarders and backers. But if you have the chance to set up T-Jolt, they have to do something. And they're really, really, really slow. And if they want to do like a fair to like hit the T-Jolt safely, they probably are going to have to retreat, you know? And at that point, if they retreat to like the very corner, it's just free pressure between forward air, between down tilt, between Thunder Jolt, and any hit we get against Byleth. They are really bad at landing. They are good at recovering. Maybe not so much against Pikachu because we have Thunder Jolt threats and we have lingering aerials, you know, which we can do falling, which is really, really good against others, you know. So if you just get one early edge guard, that probably is game winning at that point, honestly. And so the only things you really have to worry about then is not getting zoned out, not getting your shield broken, and if you think about it, their moves are really hard to land on Pikachu if you're being like really careful. You shouldn't really be getting out of shield if you're careful. You might get called out by like an up smash eventually or like an up B, but Byleth doesn't even like juggle as well, honestly. You just go below the stage or like go off stage, recover normally. She isn't really good at 2-framing. She is good at ledge trapping, but again, we have quick attack privilege, so it's not even that big of a deal. So yeah, you only lose this matchup if you just get like super hella outplayed, or if the Byleth just cheeses you by getting those like super necessary hits, you know. So yeah, for sure, it's tough, and they're just low. We can just camp them out between T-Jolt's mobility and quick attack. It's pretty chill, honestly. Alright, thank you guys for the follow again. Jess, gracias por el follow. Let's continue. I struggle edgeguarding Byleth with your early up B. Just think of it as if their up B, like the first one, is gonna go high. So you just aim to that one, and for that point, you're gonna be chilling, you know? You can just... If you get it, they straight up die. If you don't, you just reset and let trap them, and that's still fine, you know? Would you be willing to play a best of 3 for a sub today? I would really appreciate playing the best Pikachu. If you can't, no worries, still great stream. Thank you, Akrasia. I'm probably gonna stream in the future some viewer battles or something, but not playing today. No, I'm not gonna be playing today at all. But if you want to have like a session or something of just like a first to 10 or like a private lesson, there's always my Metafy, you know? Alright, let's go Falcon. Falcon, I'm really on the fence between it being +1 or +2. The thing about Falcon, he has really good mobility. He has explosive kill power, and the combos are applicable for Pikachu, you know, because a lot of characters in this game depend a lot on like their advantage states, because they're not often like very combo heavy characters. But Falcon usually does do a good enough amount of damage from just his upper strings, for example, you know. But then, like, if he just gets us in the air, he doesn't really juggle us much more. He doesn't really get to edgeguard us. He doesn't get to two-frame us. Barely ledge traps us. No, he really doesn't. We have quick attack. And then in neutral, he doesn't have the out of shield to just deal with, like, our mashing from T-Jolt for their down tilt. If he gets hit, he's super easy combo weight. He gets bridged, he gets nair looped, he gets sent off stage, and honestly, he's one of the easiest characters to checkmate between his recovery. He just has good kill power, and he has good mobility. That's all he has going for it. But it's really explosive. And yeah, side B does beat T-Jolt. But then you just have to be like very aware of it in terms of like, think of it like a little mini spin dash, you know? Like, it's very fast, it has armor, so just ask yourself, will I get hit for this T-Jolt? If the answer is yes, don't set it up and you can just play mobility normally, you know? Up smash is dumb for sure. Bro, I'm not sure. I think the mobility makes it playable, but if I could, I honestly would put it like in between, like 1.5 or something. But just to be nice, I'll put it in +1 because they do have their out of shield going for, with like the footstool out of shield down B nowadays. But at that point, like all that means is just be careful and space a little bit outside of the shield, you know. I don't know. I'll just put it there for now. Leaning more towards +2, but I'll leave it there for now. Chrom. Alright, this matchup, Loki is even in every aspect, but Chrom is just so cheesable. It's so funny how cheesable he is. You just get like one random hit, and you can just choose, okay, I'm gonna do down throw and to back her off stage, not even their loops. And then he just straight up might die, you know? So yeah, like, he has really good neutral, he has incredible kill power, he ledge traps us well, one of the few characters that can ledge trap us really well. The obby is a good preemptive option that granted punishes them really hard. But yeah, I just think the cheese factor is way too much. Doesn't really juggle us because we can just jump off stage. It's a very even matchup up until he gets cheesed, and he just gets cheesed really often. Leaning towards +1 or even. It can be tough. We just die early sometimes by his random ass pokes or just tech chases, you know. Do you think Chrom does better than Roy? For sure. Yes, for sure. So yeah, I think Chrom, I'll leave it there. Also, who's better, Marth or Chrom? It's a debate in my region. Tough question, honestly. I think they do very similar stuff and they are in a very similar position in the meta. I think Marth is more consistent, honestly, and I think that gives him the small edge. But obviously, just Chrom's entire kit is better. He just isn't consistent, sadly. Alright, no, I'm capping. I'm putting him in +1. I'm sorry. Alright, Cloud. Um, sorry. So this character, Cloud. Obviously you guys know this whole thing is backer and forwarder, just zoning with like huge range. Um, and he is very fast, especially with limit. It's very threatening for Pikachu. And also because of the range, he has extremely good corner pressure against Pikachu, and he has extremely good ledge trapping compared to most characters in this game. He's also very good at threatening juggle, so we immediately just go off stage. We do not challenge landings against Cloud, because we get up aired, we get up smash, we get up beat out of shield. Not worth it. So he obviously doesn't edge guard us, but he can manage to two-frame us with like down tilt or down air, but it's not really consistent. And then what do we have in the matchup? We really don't get to play the game against him in terms of neutral because he just has the huge sword. But what we can manage to do is make him retreat often enough so that he doesn't have stage control. And then once he doesn't have stage control at all, he has to scrap against us from the corner, right? So at that point we just get like a random hit in, like a backer or something, and now he's off stage and he just might straight up die, right? And T-Jolt, overshoots, and quick attack are really good at forcing all of those, in my opinion, you know? So I think it's very realistic for us to just have the focus of the matchup be don't get backward, don't get forward aired. If you are in range of it, just be ready to parry it, you know? And just play like play burst range and mid range like that. And then just your entire goal is gonna be just corner them, and once they're cornered, you're gonna play the game. You're gonna take risks. If not, don't take risks at all, honestly. So just because of that, I'm gonna say +1. I think his neutral is ridiculous. I think his kill power is ridiculous, and I could honestly see a case for it being even. So +1 or even could be good, but I'm gonna say +1 because I still think the cheese factor is good enough. And I feel like neutral revolving around our T-Jolt and us being really good at pairing stuff because we're really small is very realistic to do consistently. And again, us getting that random hit in and that random offstage read in once just leads him to dying randomly very often, you know. I played this matchup against Spargo a lot, and in my experience, offline we played it. It's very different compared to online. I wasn't used to how fast he was playing, but we've played friendlies before offline also, and we've played online, and usually it's very back and forth, but obviously he's just incredible as a player. Miles, thank you so much for the subscription, dude. I really appreciate it. You don't counter the up B upright, but Imo baited real hard for sure. Yeah, it's basically becomes a 50-50 if he's in a distance to recover, you know. But it's also really easy to send him in a low enough angle for it to be basically like a checkmate between like Thunder Jolts and stuff, you know. Is Cloud Pika the best combo co-main in the game? I think it might be Cloud or Pyramithra Pika, yeah. Because they both beat Game & Watch and Ness and all the other even matchups, right? So, for sure. Alright, I'll drink some water. Ask some questions, guys. I'm gonna take a small break because I'm already getting tired of talking. This is not for me. Holy shit. Expect a coaching session soon? Oh yeah, I'm super down. Always. Is Pythra Game & Watch even? Maybe I'm capping. I saw Meister's matchup chart recently, and he says it is even. I'm not sure I agree, honestly, dude. Mithra is just the neutral queen, just kills Game & Watch. They're both zoners. I get why he says it, because advantage state against them is very realistic, and obviously they can just get cheesed. But also, you can just see the root of the problem of them getting cheesed, which is going to be, oh, I lost neutral versus Game & Watch backer. So now I'm going to probably shield more, and I can just foresight between backer or neutral hits from Game & Watch and just hit him again in neutral, right? Or I can just double jump away to like center because I have insane mobility, right? So yeah, I'm not sure. I see why they say it. I see why Mia says it became a lot better, but I can also see why it's really bad for sure. And I tried picking Aegis up, but they're really tough, honestly. Like, just having the mindset of, oh, I actually cannot mess up in neutral, but I have the tools to do so, you know? It's very taxing, but it's realistic, you know? Um, got here late. Is there gonna be a VOD recording after? For sure. Yes, I will upload it into YouTube, and it's gonna be, there's gonna be like a recent broadcast on Twitch for sure. Stay hydrated for sure. Do you feel like in the future Pit Pika can be even? No. Pika is just gonna go up, and Pit is really, really good, but Pikachu's ability to just choose when to play neutral, set up T-Nulls, have auto shield, have consistent advantage states, and have consistent not disadvantage states is really, really good, you know? Pika Def top 2, Steve Broken. We'll talk about that later for sure. Secondary Byleth. I've heard Byleth Game & Watch is even. Because of the advantage state, like Byleth's disadvantage is so rough, and they're not like that fast at all. But against the other matchups, I can see it for sure. They're mostly gonna be even matchups. It's not like the character's just gonna check all the even matchups from Pikachu, but it can be a solid combo, honestly. Alright, I'm gonna keep going now. Corrin, I played this against Shattuck, and we talked about this at Battle of PC. I also beat him offline at Collision. It was 3-1, I'm pretty sure. +1 matchup. Also, I'm gonna speed up a little bit because I want to get through all of these, and I'm taking a lot, honestly. So, the basic thing about this matchup is Corrin, obviously a really good character. Sorry, one sec. Alright, Corrin, so basically, sword character, right? Unfortunately, a slow sword character, and the big thing Corrin has going for her in all the matchups is she is good at poking, she is good at run-up shielding because she has the best run-up shield in the game with Sheik. So she is usually gonna be very, very safe, but still, she's not good at committing at all. She's not good at approaching or starting her approaches, starting interactions. She is safe enough, but she can still get out frame data. She can still get out of shielded or parried or get red in the on shield mix-ups, you know. And I think Pikachu is really good at doing that, as well as since she's not gonna be pressuring Pika like very often in neutral, Pikachu is able to just set up Thunder Jolts over and over, and because we have good mobility, we have good out of shield, we are just threatening her at all times if she decides to press something in neutral, you know? And if we are correct, we get a random nair loop that does 60 and then sends them off stage, and then we read their recovery with like a downer that trades with her up B, and then we rinse and repeat the edge and then she just might straight up die. And if not, she just took a lot of damage, gets ledge trapped, gets juggled, and now from the other side, that's one of Corrin's biggest strengths in the game, is she's low-key probably one of the, or if not the best frame trapping character and one of the best advantage characters in the game, because she has good frame traps from the juggles, kill power, she has instep in 2 frames, and she can edgeguard some characters pretty well with the, like, going really low with backer, for example, right? But what does Pika have? If he's getting juggled, he jumps off stage, so he ignores the juggling. If he has to recover, he doesn't really get edge guarded because his recovery is broken, right? If he might get 2-framed, which I know a lot of Pikachu struggle against this versus Corrin, by like instep-in, just go below the stage. You're not gonna get instep-in because Corrin is too slow to get to the other side beforehand, so she's gonna have to like stay covering one side, you know, so just go to the other one. And then she is solid at ledge trapping us, but again, quick attack privilege, so that just gives us a huge edge, and we often just reset neutral over and over and over. Granted, Corrin still kills very early. That's like the main thing she has going for her, and she can zone us decently well. But still, I just feel like Pikachu just naturally out-rewards her, you know? And this is the case for most characters with Pikachu. It's just like, oh, your normal win condition, which is advantage state, Pikachu can just kind of ignore. Mr. Weiser, thank you so much for the prime. I really, really appreciate it, dude. Alright. I'm gonna ignore Pacey and Dark Pit. I'm just gonna put them here. I've run across people going with punish. Oh, low to punish me for Skull Bash. Oh, so what you want to do is obviously ask yourself, okay, uh, is the opponent gonna have enough time to like position himself and kill me with this edge guard? You know, if I Skull Bash. If the answer is yes, you probably want to quick attack. Or if not, what you can do is just recover really, really low with the tilt Skull Bash, right? That one just lets you travel a good amount of distance slowly, so it's the timing is a little bit more awkward, and also it still allows you to do like the other Skull Bash, the stronger one, so you just get to the other side, right? And then more often than not, if you do it like low enough, they're probably gonna have to SD with you, you know. So if it's a character that manages to like go really, really low, or can SD with you and just like win the game off killing you from the Skull Bash, then don't do Skull Bash. Just play the quick attack mix-up. But if they're not, usually Corrin is not, like she's probably gonna have to like grab ledge preemptively and then like drift into the stage with like back air to hit you. You're probably gonna be chilling, dude, honestly. So yeah, remember children, ban PS2 against two framing characters. Speaking of two framing characters, Diddy Kong. Banana, C-drop banana downer, C-drop banana backer is broken. Forward tilt is really, really good for sure. But again, just go below the stage. They're not really all that great at recovering, and even then, if they mess up their timing, they might get Skull Bash, they might get reversal, they might get pinged by the quick attack, and then they have to jump or barrels, and they might just get gimped. So they often don't want to go off stage against Pikachu unless it's like a really, really bad Skull Bash and they just down at you, right? I'll talk about that later, Miles. But yeah, Diddy Kong, main thing he has going for against most characters is just bashing burst options and obviously getting banana. But luckily for Pikachu, he's really, really good at pressuring banana or just Diddy in general when he has when he doesn't have banana, because we can just set up Thunder Jolts, we can just mash against him, you know, just like run up to him, and obviously he can up smash us at low percents, but usually that's not that much of a concern up until high percents, you know. And obviously if we get like a random hit in, we send them off stage and they might just die. We get a lot of damage. They're not really all that good at landing. And then if we are playing burst range really, really well, we can punish basically everything of him out of shield, you know, besides like maybe back air, but they're not really going to be using back air as a neutral tool, you know. It's mostly going to be used for like latch trapping or like a jump landing mix-up. So I think Pikachu is good against both of Diddy's stances, between him abusing burst options without banana and him just moving around using banana. Because what you can do with Pikachu is, once he has banana, ask yourself the question, will I get hit by setting up a T-Jolt by the banana? The answer is yes, just keep moving and they're probably going to waste it, you know, because setting T-Jolt itself is a mix-up, you know. Like people have to pressure T-Jolt to like not let it get out, and once it's out, we are probably going to win neutral, you know, or the neutral is going to be a lot more scuffed towards our favorite, you know. So yeah, Diddy can just randomly die from edge guards. Our neutral is probably about as consistent as his, but our punish game is probably going to be stronger, and he randomly gets cheesed, and we don't have as much as a disadvantage state against as he does against us. Like, he still gets juggled, he still gets latch trapped, he still gets edge guarded. We only really get latch trapped by like banana and then backer, you know, but we don't really get our landings catched often, or caught. We don't really get juggle because his upper doesn't really kill that well, and we shouldn't get two framed that much if we go below the stage. So yeah, it's a chill matchup. You just gotta be really, really good in neutral, and that's the tough part, especially against someone like Tweak that's such a great pilot in neutral, you know. DK, and honestly, let's just talk about all the heavies in succession because they're all gonna be pretty similar. DK gets out of shielded, doesn't have stage pressure on shield, gets thunder jolted, gets edge guarded, gets juggled, gets ledge trapped on reaction for free. He's one of the only characters, I'm not sure if he's the only character, but he's probably the easiest character to nair loop in the game because you don't have to do turn on nair loops. So you can just repeat it up until literally 90% as a combo finisher. And oftentimes that's gonna lead into an edge guard that kills him, you know? It's so easy. It's such a terrible matchup. Similarly, Ganondorf, same thing. You just have to be wary of their burst options, which DK's is gonna be dash attack, Ganon's is gonna be dash attack, down B. Let me just put some other songs in. Nair is obviously great for Ganon, but you shouldn't be scrapping against Ganon. You should be setting up T-ults and just play mid-range, out-mobility him. He gets edge-guarded, he gets ledge-trapped. He doesn't really have an advantage state against us, so it's really tough. Yeah, no. Terrible matchup, terrible matchup. Let's talk about all the bad heavies first, because there are definitely some good heavies against Pikachu, or better ones, I want to say. Actually, I think those two might be the worst ones. I already talked about Bowser. Oh yeah, Caribou's ass. Hola Luam. Scrapping with Ganon is fun. Once you get the backer, it's free. Oh yeah, I'll talk about this in a little bit, Miles, about the two framing. But yeah, King K. Rool, same thing. You literally just get into mid range, so you just maneuver around Crown and the Cannonball, and once you're there, you just bait him out with like movement, because he has to commit first, and then you just like get a random hit, send them off stage. I know that a lot of people struggle edge guarding K. Rool, but what you want to do is send them off stage at a low-ish angle, and then you want to grab ledge preemptively, so that, because generally what K. Rools will do is they'll hug the stage and then recover the helicopter thing going upwards, you know, so it's really hard to hit them unless you like stage spike them, which is not good. So what you do is you just grab ledge preemptively, you drift into the stage, and you just hit him with backer from the sides. Or another thing you can do is if you can line up like a Thunder Jolt, you can just T-Jolt forward air or T-Jolt down air, and they just straight up die. Bad character. Just a straight up bad character. What these characters have going for them is kill power, but honestly, if you just ask yourself, what are the kill moves that they might hit against me, you should be chilling. You should just be careful to play more defensively, like play to like maneuver against them, and you should be fine, you know. Guten Abend, mein Freund. Try Smash. Wie geht es dir? Thank you guys for the follows. ¿Qué opinas de Luigi? Ahí hablaré de él, pero si quieres que hable de él ahorita directamente, puedes donar o suscribirte, amigo. Alright. Dr. Mario, +1. I've been playing Jazar a lot, in online tournaments recently. Granted, it's online Dr. Mario, it's harder to punish these hard-hitting characters, you know, and Dr. Mario has really insane frame data. I've been saying that Dr. Mario is basically a Shoto. He sets up fireballs, he sets up, has really good out of shield, really good at scrapping, great kill power, good at two-framing. He has a lot of what Pikachu doesn't enjoy, but what he has one of the worst of in the game is burst range. He is really bad at moving, he's really bad at acting first. So with Pikachu, once you get stage control, you can just play very outside of his, like, for example, backer range. Be close enough to him to threaten him to not set up the pills, right? And then at that point, you can just like kind of wall him out with forward air or down tilt. Imagine walling with Pikachu, walling a character with Pikachu. Like that's, I guess not like free at all, but it's definitely what you do against Dr. Mario. And then if he gets hit once, you always just send him off stage, preferably at a lower angle, and then you can just spike him, you can just backer him, you can trade with the uppie with your downer, send him off stage, and repeat the edge guard. It sucks. It sucks, but he still has good enough frame data, still has really threatening presence once you scrap with him because of the out of shield. Pills are really annoying. You shouldn't really be trying to like reversal him. You should get close to him first from the long range and then just bait mid range out at that point, right? But yeah, it's hard to play. But realistically, the risk reward is usually always in Pikachu's favor. Again, we shouldn't really get too framed. We shouldn't really get edge guarded. Dr. Mario is not really good at juggling. So your main goal is gonna be bait burst range, out mobility him, and bait out the out of shield between like the up smash and the uppy out of shield. You're good. And it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be slow, but that's what you do. +1, oh my god. ¿Por qué dices? Pensabas que le iba a poner el nivel o algo. Haha, mir geht es gut, danke. Your German is really fine. Have fun with your stream, bud. Thank you, man. I've been speaking way more German recently because of the Twitter things with the German people. Alright. Más dos, la verdad, pero tiene sentido. No, es que el kill power y el neutral de Doctor Mario es suficientemente bueno, la verdad, para keep up with Pikachu. Eh, pero Pikachu gana nomás cuando ya está en midrange. Antes de eso, la verdad, sí le cuesta mucho. Y no puedes actuar primero. Y si actúas primero y adivinas mal, vas a recibir 60, vas a recibir 50 y te van a matar tempranísimo. Es bien annoying, pero es bien dual. Es muy dual el game plan. Alright, Duck Hunt. Shoutouts to Moe. The Duck Hunts are getting better at the matchup, I will say this. I'll put him here. I'll start putting the characters I'm talking about right now on the right so that it's easy to follow. So yeah, Duck Hunt, he just has one of the best neutrals in the game. But the big thing about Duck Hunt is you have to tell yourself, I will not get hit by side B. Repeat with me, you're not gonna get hit by side B. And if you choose to do that, honestly, like it's a choice usually. If you treat it like you were to bait like a minecart from Steve, for example, that thing has ages, like years of lag, dude. It's so easy to punish. And if he doesn't get that, he has a really hard time racking up damage, and especially killing. He doesn't get like side B upper, side B backer, etc. And then you have to treat can kind of like a resource, right? Where if you are not able to like run under Duck Hunt as he set it up, then at that point your goal is just gonna be to like play neutral very stationary or give him a little bit of space, honestly. Wait for it to like despawn and then try again, you know, pressure him with heal, pressure him with your frame data, with your mobility, but you want to get into burst range so that in case he does a mistake, which is anything because he's floaty, so he's not good at jumping, he is not safe on shield, and he doesn't have good out of shield, then Pikachu gets one hit in, and that can lead into a massive combo as usual. You just have to be really tight about them because of the combo breakers. Or an advantage state, which for Pikachu means edgeguarding Duck Hunt, juggling Duck Hunt, ledge trapping Duck Hunt, which is all really, really doable. And again, you're not gonna die often at all. You just have to be really, really wary about getting hit by all the projectiles at once. Be content with like resetting neutral, honestly. It's not bad to reset neutral against Duck Hunt. Instead of trying to force the issue and just get like anti-air, projectile spam, whatever, you know. And pay attention to the down B. Just don't get killed by it. And if you don't get hit by those, you basically have to watch out for like up air juggles, up smash out of shield. That's it. It's a very slow and annoying matchup, but again, it's more of Pikachu just out rewarding him eventually, right? We're gonna go a little bit quicker with these right now, because I think a lot of these matchups are pretty simple. Falco, Loki could be +2, but this character hits hard. Is this guy +2? What are we thinking, chat? What do you guys think? Yikes. No, it's +1. The dude has really good frame data, has good anti-airs, decent enough hitboxes, great kill power. It's just more of, if he gets hit, he just sometimes dies. He is one of the easiest characters to upper bridge, and he just hella dies. Again, character with really, really, really bad burst range, right? Besides like side B, you know? But you can just play shield in that specific burst range and be chilling, you know? A lot of people just struggle with this matchup because of the reflector, because they think, oh, we cannot T-jolt, but we can T-jolt from long range, and then if they at any point decide to reflector, we on reaction quick attack above and just punish him every single time. It's so easy. So yeah, he doesn't really get to do that. Then he gets edge guarded, gets ledge trapped, gets juggled. Has good pressure on shield, honestly, with like down tilt, with like back air. Longo, thank you for the follow. And yeah, I think it's mostly a thing about like his pokes being really, really hard to deal with unless you're like shield them or you like are really really ready for them, and they just get like hella early. But honestly, I'm really 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 leaning to put him in the +2. For now, we're gonna say +1, and then we're gonna order the chart later. Fox +1 definitely harder than Falco just because of mobility, but it's more or less the same. It's a character that just has gets edge guarded, gets doesn't really get juggled because he's a really really fast faller. So a lot of the time we kind of have to hold it and just like parry or shield and play the mix-up after. But that's why when you're comboing him, you send him off stage and play the edge guard mix-up, you know, in case you just get to kill him, you know. Gets ledge trapped, so he can really jump from the ledge, because if he gets T-jolted from the ledge and then he did like drop down fair or something, he gets clipped and then he has to recover with Firefox, which is a downer, you know. Honestly, Fox is a character that with Pikachu, you don't really want to play the game against him up until you have a little bit of stage control. Because if you are gonna straight up guess in neutral against him, he's just gonna dash back, he's just gonna jump, he's just gonna whiff punish you over and over and over. And because of how fast he is, he's one of the best characters versus Pikachu at actually juggling him, you know? He either gets up there like really really fast, he gets to catch your landing, gets to back air you or chase your side Bs to like off stage or something, you know? And granted, if you are off stage enough, once you like are in the air, you know, you can just choose to go off stage, not get edge guard and not get 2-framed, and play from there. But sometimes if he just up throws you from the middle, you know, he might just be able to chase you, and it's really scary. But other than that, if you're just smart in the risks you take and the positions that you might get hit in, it's gonna be really hard for Fox to get like really good moves in. And at that point, he is gonna start relying on Nair up smash, which falling Nair from like a full hop height. If he doesn't like do it like super low, it's -6, which is out of shieldable every time. Drill is obviously unsafe, so you can do like parry option select to like parry the Nair timing, and then if you notice they're doing a downer, just reshield and punish the down air out of shield. Back air is obviously great, but Pikachu's good at the corner, so you can just shield. Remember to angle your shield. And yeah, the big thing is Pikachu gets random hits in, and potentially edgeguards Fox, and Fox has to get like really really specific hits against Pikachu to kill him. So it's more of a matter of Pikachu not being greedy and not really taking risk before it's good to do so, you know, which means getting stage control and cornering him before he gets to move all the way around you, you know, just move circles. Similarly, Greninja, more of the same thing. It's literally the same matchup, except his whip punish does get them a lot more. So you're probably gonna be shielding a lot more in the burst range against him. Gonna have to be ready for like the falling nairs and falling fairs to like do the parry timings, because they can be really safe if they're done like really low on the ground. But it's more of the same. Pikachu gets a random hit in, and Greninja struggles to get big hits against Pikachu, you know. I know a lot of Pikachu struggle against like the water, for example, you know, but you can just side B or go like really really low, recover below the stage so you don't get cheesed by the water with your quick attack angle. I know a lot of Pikachu struggle against the counter, you know, because they can counter the T-jolt, but what you do is you T-jolt from like a really good amount of distance, and then you shield, and then you like spot dodge their counter, and if they actually do like the rising counter, you can rising thunder them, you know. So they have to do other directions, and if they do other directions and they miss, they are either straight up gonna get punished, or they're gonna end up in the corner / off stage, and that's advantage state for us, right? Yeah, Pikachu out rewarding characters naturally, more of that for sure. You just have to be careful to not get down to love smash for sure. Be careful to not get circle camped or out mobility, because that is what the characters that have better mobility than Pikachu have. They are just really good at camping Pikachu once they have like a good lead. But if you're just careful at the start of the game and you're not getting hit by like all the random stuff, like by whiffing your own stuff and then them whiff punishing you, it's a good time, honestly. It's very chill. Alright, small break and we're gonna continue. Any questions, chat? ¿Alguna pregunta, amiguitos? Fox movement is so scary. It is. Definitely one of the best movement in the game for sure. Alright. You need to drink a lot more water. It's hot. It is hot over here for sure. And I am getting tired of speaking already, dude. It's only been an hour. Sheesh. I'm probably gonna finish in an hour though. Probably. My question, how are you? It's been good, dude. It's been good. I've been in an exam kind of phase, I guess, in like university. Been doing the good. Been doing all my assignments. Recently won 2 coin boxes, so that's really good for the pockets. Uh, Went out to eat with my girlfriend yesterday. That was fun. And with all the money, that was really fun. So yeah, no, I'm chilling. I feel like I'm at my peak at Smash right now in terms of like both knowledge, even getting therapy, you know, both like for in-game Smash things and mental health things. So that's been great, honestly. If anyone watching here is on the fence about like getting therapy for like mental health issues, I highly recommend it. It's so fucking good, dude. It's so nice. You just kind of have to click with your therapist, you know, obviously. So yeah, I'm doing good. This has nothing to do with matchups, but what player do you want to play the most? Really want to play the Japanese, dude. I haven't played with many Japanese at all. Probably the guys that I'm most excited to fight is Akola, because I really think I have a really good shot against him. Still consider myself one of the best players against Steve. I just had some bad, like, I don't know if you guys heard about like the whole Battle VC thing, but props to Sor. He played really well. I did not play well, but that was just some physical issues, but we'll see for sure. And then I want to also play Mia really bad. That matchup, I think I can make it work. I just want to see how different it is from fighting Meister, you know. ¿Ya arrancaste Luigi? No, amigo. Luigi está en las L's, pero ya casi, ahí va. ¿Por qué veo más uno? Básicamente, ¿tú qué crees que es mejor o peor? Ahorita te explico si me decís. That's why you need to drink for sure. What are the next tournaments you're going to? For sure, it's gonna be Smash Factor, maybe SmashCon. I have a good list coming up, honestly. But I definitely want to sneak in a lot more, though. Probably one between Smash Factor and, like, right now, so yeah. Probably announce it on Twitter, so yeah, just be checking on that. Y arranqueaste al Even, la verdad. Pero más uno practica. ¿Cómo haces más uno el matchup? Ok, básicamente Bayonetta es buena haciendo daño de la nada y es muy buena campeando. Pero de las cosas que ella saca de daño así de la nada va a ser Side B en la tierra, Side B en el aire, Up B out of shield y ya. Entonces, si Pikachu está jugando crouching, el Side B aéreo nunca le va a pegar. Si Pikachu está jugando crouching y con shield y pokeando para dash ins, Bayonetta, los timings que va a necesitar para entrar van a ser demasiado específicos. Entonces, y si estás baiteando el out of shield de Bayonetta, probablemente la vas a reversear porque todos los Bayonettas quieren el up B out of shield. Fun fact, Pikachu puede shieldear el up B out of shield, hacer Nair Drag Down a una plataforma y hacer Down Smash o Up Smash. Entonces es un gran punish contra el up B out of shield. Y básicamente Pikachu tiene el chance de jugar muy seguro mucho tiempo entre lo que te acabo de explicar, porque shieldear contra Bayo es increíble, que si me grabea, que me tira para arriba, salto off stage y no me puede ledge trapear. O sea, ledge trapea muy normal y tengo quick attack privilege, ¿sabes? No me va a guardear, no me va a joglear, no me va a matar de un juggle. Y de ahí, el Tonjo Jolt es muy realista contra Bayo porque sí, está Witch Time, pero si lo hago de una distancia, tenés que empezar a o stalear tu Witch Time completamente y eventualmente yo puedo entrar con T-Jolt, que si me haces un Witch Time no me vas a poder castigar, entonces voy a estar cerca de ti y vamos a scrapear. O vas a empezar a saltar y eso es antiaeriable. Y por último, Bayonetta, si tiene que landear con su up-B, side-B, etc. Si landea cerca de mí, la grabeo. Si landea lejos de mí, o se europea un Thunderbolt o Whiff Punish con Quick Attack. Y ya, no me puede flanquear con el up-B en la esquina porque tengo Thunderbolt. Si le hace Witch Time en la esquina no me puede castigar. Eso. Es un matchup que es difícil y aburrido y lento para los dos. Pero básicamente Pikachu es más safe y consigue más eventualmente. Solo tenés que no tomar riesgos malos, porque si te pega uno de esos golpes grandes, sí vas a perder el lead. Y sé que bow. Go to SmashCon, I'll try my best. For sure. Juegas Time Out desde el comienzo, básicamente, sí. Una pregunta, si sabes que si colocas a Mario en puesto bajo, te van a funar. ¿Por qué dices, amigo Luam? Alright, let's continue. I'm gonna do these a lot quicker right now, okay? Hero. Definitely +1. Loki could see it +2, but I'm gonna stay +1 because he's a very cheesy character with very high highs. Pikachu, really, really good at pressuring burst range against Hero. Between Thunder Jolts and just his mobility and frame data of like back air, forward air, down tilt, safe on shield pressure, you know? So honestly, Hero doesn't get to buff himself that much. So at that point, all you have to worry about is not getting zoned out by like the swords, which aren't good frame data at all, you know. So Hero tends to corner himself a lot, and then once he gets cornered, he gets hit off stage, and he is one of the easiest characters to edgeguard with Pikachu, in my opinion, honestly. It's very flowcharty. You just have to know the flowcharts, you know. But it's like, grab ledge preemptively. If he recovers from directly below, just falling back or down air, you know. If he has to charge the uppie, just go below and trade with the uppie, you know. Or just straight up hit him. And if he zooms, you can just set up a T-Jolt from one corner, and then that's immediate pressure, you know. So it's not that big of a deal. And Quick Attack, so good at punishing any projectile, so good at punishing Hero doing the spells, you know. And also Pikachu is one of the best characters at passively wasting the resources of these characters like Shulk or like Hero that buff themselves, you know. I can just kind of like stall below the stage up until like it wastes itself, you know, and he doesn't really get to two-frame us, edgeguards us, ledge trap us, so eventually he runs out and it's really good. Lit Razor, gracias por el sub, amigo. Muchas, muchas gracias. Bienvenido. Mi papá, mi jefe. That's my boss from the Shores Gaming. Shoutouts to Shores Gaming for the sponsor. That's my team. I love them so much. So yeah, pretty easy matchup. I would say +2, but it's definitely very cheesable by him, you know. So I'm gonna just put him here. Go over the Pikachu. I'll think about it. I'll think about it. It's a weird matchup. I'll say up tilt is really good in that matchup for now. Alright, Ice Climbers. Let me actually switch the music real quick. 1 second, guys. Because it's been Pokemon music. Who's a good character that's coming up that has like raw music? God. Okay, 1 sec. I'm thinking. Dude, let's... Okay, I was gonna say Splatoon, but I know a lot of people don't enjoy Splatoon. I love Splatoon music. I don't know if Sonic music has copyright. Yikes. Dude, let's just do... Loki, let's just do Persona. I don't know if it has copyright. You know what? Let's do Street Fighter. The goats. Alright. Let's keep it rolling, guys. Kirby tiene copyright. Es que sí, Kirby tenía sentido, sí. I think Street Fighter is fine, right? It doesn't have copyright. Can someone confirm that, please? Thank you, mi bro. Nice stream. Gracias. Están buenos los números ya, la verdad. You know what? Yeah, let's go save. Let's just do Kirby, dude. Let's just do Kirby. Let's stay Nintendo, because I'm sure that they don't. I know it's not gonna be like hard bangers, but it is what it is. This is my first time streaming in a while, so we're gonna keep it chill for now. Buena rola. Alright. Ice Climbers. Our first +1 or even, and I am not completely sure. I have talked to H4 about this, I have talked to Isam about this, and I haven't played Big T. That's the big thing. From my experience in this match, right? Ices has such a good balance against Pikachu of both zoning and touch of deathing. They can two-frame us, they have good enough juggling, they obviously have the 0 to deaths or like just really damaging or kill confirms, you know, from combos from like Blizzard, which is one of their best zoning tools also. But the thing about Ices is that basically they still have to deal against Pikachu's mobility, right? Pikachu does not really have that much safe shield pressure. So you have to basically rely on like really spaced forward airs, down tilt, or just bait it out with movement. Um, then they still get disadvantage state or like advantage state by Pikachu. Like they still get juggled, they still get edge guarded if you know how to like hit the like trade with like both of the climbers, you know, or just hit the second one before he rises. Um, and then obviously they get Let's Trap. They don't really have any special options, so it's mostly a neutral matchup. You know, it's mostly gonna be a neutral matchup that is hella punishing when you do get hit, and it's also really hard to get big hits in. So what's the deal? How do we win this matchup? From my experience, they have a really hard time dealing with Pikachu doing Thunder Jolts because they kind of have to shield it. You know, the Ice Climbers are not particularly good at jumping, so they either have to shield it or Blizzard them. You know, but if they are setting up Blizzard in that exact moment, that leaves them open from above, which we can just jump over with like a downer, like an air, or like quick attack if we need to like get there like really quickly. Or if they shield it, we can always run up like behind the T-Jolt and just grab one of the climbers. Do immediate back throw to like get out of the way and not get too punished. And that sends one of the climbers off stage and that might just kill them, you know. So that's really important. Pikachu I think is pretty good at killing the Ices. It's just a matter of opening them up in neutral that's really hard. And then if they ever set up a Blizzard just like that, they still have the desyncs to like set up like an up tilt with the Blizzard, you know, to have like a hitbox in front of them and above them, which you're gonna have to wait it out. You know, you're probably gonna have to just reset neutral and set up a T-Jolt so that they have to like set up a Blizzard eventually. The big thing about the matchup is we have more consistent pressure. Like we're gonna set up more T-Jolts, we're gonna be more on their face, and they're gonna have to act towards that because we have better mobility. So it's still very viable to win neutral. You just have to be so patient and so careful to be content to eventually get that neutral win, you know, and make the most out of it. But you really cannot take risks against these characters. It's kind of like mini Kazuya, but Kazuya with very broken defensive buttons, you know. So that's why I'm gonna put him in +1 or even. I'm leaning more towards +1. But yeah, I can definitely see it being hard for sure. Starting to do well against Swordies, but still have to get those Nair loops down. I can always coach you if you want to get those down. I do have the best Nair loops in the game right now, for sure. Alright, let's keep it going. Ike. We're going to speed up because these are going to be simple matchups. Ike. Loki could be +2, but no, because of the kill power, it's not +2. Basically, zoning character, you don't really, or like Swordy character, the deal with these guys is T-Jolt is very good at like disrupting their zoning timings. They have to act at the timing of the T-Jolt coming out. And if they want to be incredibly safe, they're going to have to zone while drifting behind, which is going to give us space, and that's going to eventually corner them. And them being cornered means they have to scrap against us, which we have better frame data, we have safe on shield pressure, and getting that one hit in means they might end up off stage or getting hard comboed, and, you know, natural outward from Pikachu. We are small, so pairing his stuff is really easy, you know. Thing is, obviously, if you do get nared at like 60, you might just die, you know, with rage especially. But honestly, that's the main thing he has going for it. I know that a lot of Pikachus really suck against Ike at edge guarding, you know, at edge guarding Ike. Because obviously, edge guarding up B is easy, you just forward smash or downer from above. But side B is the problem, right? I'm gonna give you guys this quick tip, and you can apply this to every character in the game, honestly, basically, but especially Ike when he's charging the side B. Just synchronize the T-Jolt falling speed to Ike's falling speed when he's charging the side B, so that the T-Jolt comes down diagonally and just hits him, you know? And usually they're gonna waste a jump when they're doing the side B. So they just get hit, and that means they are now recovering without a jump, so they have to up B. Or they just straight up get comboed from the T-Jolt into like a downer or a forwarder. And I've played this matchup way too much with like Yes, which was the best Ike. I beat him in a money match twice. I think it was 3-0 offline. That was like 2 years ago. But I'm just saying it's very doable and it worked against him. He told me, holy crap, it's really hard to recover against you. And also the second or third best player here, Hunter, used to play Ike a lot. I played that matchup so much. So yeah. You just have to be careful about not getting clipped by like early killing stuff, and you just win the matchup very naturally. Alright. Incineroar. Incineroar. Alright, it's definitely winning. I'm not sure if it's +2 at this point. I'm gonna say +1. One really annoying thing about Incineroar, obviously counter, so that doesn't allow us to use T-Jolt as freely. There is a certain spacing where you can do T-Jolt into grab as a true punish, and it just gives you the grab and gives you the free, like, waste revenge, you know? But it's very, very tight and very risky. I don't really advise it unless you're, like, super, super sure of it. Still, this character is mad slow. This character doesn't have the best burst range. He's very unsafe on shield, generally. Unless he does, like, perfect aerials. And then, obviously, if he gets hit, he gets snare looped, he gets upper bridged, and he gets edge guarded, you know? But it's one of the cheesiest characters in the game, for sure. Between revenge, between the kill power, between... he can 2-frame us, but again, just go below the stage. You shouldn't really get 2-framed that much. He doesn't really juggle us as well, so it's more than anything the ledge trapping, because if he gets like any hit, it can lead into a lot, or the neutral, you know, which he has to win neutral like once or twice, and then we're at kill percent, you know. So it's very, very scary, and again, because we don't have T-Jolt as often as we would like, we have to play the game a lot more against him. But again, since he's slow, we can just bait, mid-range bait, burst range a lot, and it's easy, quote-unquote, you know, it's way easier. One annoying thing about this matchup that I discovered is that Incineroar can always up E out of shield between the multi-hits of rising backer. I'm not sure for there as well. I think not for there if we're doing it falling, but if we're doing it rising and it's not like hitting completely actively on his shield, then he can do it. And so he can just like up E, super armor, and punish us. So we have to rely a lot on like falling forwards, down tilts, and movement, you know, which is annoying, but it's still doable. That's still a very, very abusable character, you know. So just be careful, and you should be fine. Make sure to be aware of what he can do, though. Can't believe Isan put this character in +3 at some point. I can still see it as +2. I'm not gonna lie, but I just think the cheese factor is way too big. But yeah, I wouldn't be opposed at all to put him at +2 at all. And at the end of the stream, I'm probably gonna order them. So yeah, I'm gonna make sure to give my thoughts real quick if I change anyone, you know. Stream en Spanglish, ¿qué nivel? Son el público, amigo, ¿qué te diré? De regreso, o de una vez, otra vez, gracias por los follows, amigos, a todos los que no les agradecí. Alright, Inkling. They are a mini sword character with very low kill power, my bad. Up throw upper works at like 1%, literally, like the window against Pikachu is 1%. So not really that viable. We shouldn't really get roller because we are always setting up T-Jolts and we are very aerial in terms of like our movement, you know, and repositioning. Again, character that relies on like the ledge trapping as well, and like edge guarding. Pikachu can just go below the stage and recover normally, and either like if they set up their 2-frames or their grenade thing like the down B preemptively, go below the stage, go to the other side. They're not gonna set it up in time, you know. You're now stuck playing a ledge trap against a very normal character, you know, and you're probably not gonna die. And from the other side, they get juggled. They don't have good landing options. They get edge guarded because they don't have a hitbox while rising. They have a good length on their recovery, but they can get backward, rinse and repeated. They can get downer cheesed off stage, and they get ledge trap. They don't have any special options. So in neutral, the main thing you're gonna be watching out for is they have good movement, and the backer is great. But again, if they're gonna be zoning with backer, we can fish for parries, or if they want to be completely safe with it, they're gonna have to retreat. Them retreating equals them giving us space. Them giving us space means they're being cornered and pressured in the corner by Pikachu with safe on shield pressure. They don't have good out of shield options, and we setting up T-Jolt just disrupts the tempo of them all the time. And other than like backer, their stuff on shield is not that good, honestly. They just rely on movement a lot. So if you just tell yourself, I'm not gonna commit before I have stage control, you're gonna be chilling. I think I need to practice Pikachu versus Samus. I lost 10-0. I'll explain Pikachu Samus. It's really slow, but it's definitely good, you know. Teal is great, for sure, for sure. Yeah. Welcome everyone. Nice 44 viewers for my first stream. Damn, that's so nice. Thank you everyone. Um, alright. I'm gonna do all the J's right now. I'm gonna do Isabelle, Joker, and Jigglypuff, and then I'm gonna take a small bathroom break. Isabelle, uh, I don't know this match well. I last time I played it against a top level rep was against Neri, and I almost lost. That was game 5. But recently I played it online against Sericon, and there was this other guy. I forgot his name. Uh, they were washes, dude. Like I was paying attention, and I remembered how much you can abuse T-Jolt in this matchup, how bad their mobility is, and how much they rely on the down B. If you're just content, like not challenging the down B in like bad moments, um, neutral is gonna be a lot easier for you. You know, their frame data on shield is pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. It's pretty safe, but again, you can always just play the spot dodge mix up, the out of shield mix up, or honestly, because they're floaty, they're really bad at like doing landing aerials. You know, they take a while to land, so you can just anti-air them or just fish for parries or like uh, etc. You know, they're bad at jumping, so their safety on shield is not that big of a deal. If they're sounding with like the slingshots, you can just like walk, and again, for them to be like for it to be like completely safe, they have to retreat with it. So that's gonna give you stage control eventually, and our random hits just do so much. They get edge guarded. Like again, Pikachu struggling to like edge guard Pikachu and or like to edge guard Isabelle and Villager. Just grab ledge preemptively, drift into the stage, and just back air, rinse and repeat them, or down air them straight up. You know, it's really easy. They really get juggled. They get ledge trapped. You can abuse T-Jolt, honestly. A lot of people just don't use T-Jolt in this matchup because of Pocket, but you can do it. Pocket takes so well, and if they have it pocketed, they can only do a T-Jolt towards you, which you avoid that one T-Jolt, and now you're chilling, you know? So yeah, it's really easy. And then the last really important thing about this matchup, in my opinion, is the Rod, right? The side B. So good at two framing, but again, just go below the stage. Go below the stage, and they're not gonna hit you for it. You can just recover normally, and now they basically have no big win condition. They have to beat you in neutral, and you're Pikachu. They have better mobility, better out of shield, better safer, everything, etc. You know, easy matchup. So Loki +2, for sure +2. I wouldn't be opposed to it being +1 because their kill power and neutral can be surprisingly good, but I'll say +2. Joker +1. I played it against Leo. I beat Leo actually offline, and that matchup feels very abusable for Pikachu. You have to not be afraid of doing Thunder Jolts because of the Rebels Guard, you know. You every time they do the down B, either being Rebels Guard or the counter or reflector, you can just quick attack whiff punish them every single time. Or if it's Rebel Guard, you just run behind the T-Jolt. And if you see that they charge it, just charge a smash attack, dude. It's so easy. They get bridged, they get edge guarded, they get juggled from the sides. Their frame data is worse than ours, so we are really good at taking initiative against them. The one win condition that they have two win conditions. They're really good at zoning and obviously moving with both like their straight up movement and guns inside B. So obviously their chip damage is great, like really great. Like definitely their most broken thing in the game, you know. And also obviously they have our send, you know, so we might just get cheesed sometimes. But if you're careful by not getting hit by the nairs, by not getting hit by the Ahas, you know, making sure that you walk a ton and shield, you know, and you corner them, they're not going to be able to effectively zone you out as much anymore. They're going to have to scrap against you, which you're better at scrapping in terms of the frame data, in terms of the out of shield. And again, one hit from him is a combo. It's a drag down. He doesn't really have that much of a advantage state against us. Like we don't get juggled. We don't really get edge guarded. We don't really get two framed. And he is good at ledge trapping against everyone, but could get like disrupts that really heavily, honestly. And from our perspective now, we get a random hit at 0, and now they're playing a 50-50 to recover against our backer, you know, between them jumping or them going low, right? They don't have any special options out of the ledge, so you only really lose this matchup if they are effectively really good at camping you, or they cheese you with Arsene, you know. Otherwise, it's pretty chill. You're by far my favorite Smash player. Meeting you at Collision was so cool. You were super nice, and your matches were all entertaining to watch. Oh, you were watching all of those? Thank you, man. I really appreciate it. yeah, no, I'm always down to meet anyone that supports me, and of course, it's such a pleasure like taking pictures and just hearing what people have to say about me. So yeah, I really, really appreciate every one of you and everyone who's watching the stream. This is really, really nice to see that everyone is supporting me. All right, Jigglypuff plus. I'll say +2. I played base mage and friendlies recently, and no puedo leer eso, TLB, pero gracias por la aprecio mucho. Anyways, I played base mage recently in friendlies, and what happened is I was being like a little too reckless. At Battle of BC, it was offline, and we were going pretty even, or I think yeah, it was pretty even honestly. Uh, but like last times I played like Puffs offline, or online, like all I do, is just like walk inside of their burst range and then just like react to their jumps with like anti or up tilt, or upper, So they get anti-aired so hard, dude. Like we, for once, outrange a character, and that says a lot about the character. They die really early. They get juggled really hard. Obviously, it's kind of hard to edge guard them. If you manage to get a random backer, they're probably gonna die really early. But if not, they still get pressured by T-Jolts on the corner or just in neutral. It gives us really, really good openings. Obviously, they're not gonna edge guard us. They're not gonna two-frame us that well. They can go low, but usually, like if you notice that they're gonna go low preemptively, you can probably just jump quick attack and go high before they can go up there again. It's not like they're like Sonic with like a rising upbeat to like trap both of those situations, or like a Thunder from Pikachu. So yeah, only way you really lose this matchup is you're getting hit by way too many stray hits. Or you're getting drill rested, which drill rest is really consistent against Pikachu. So play around that, please. Just like don't drop your shield when they're landing against you. They're probably gonna fish for that. Um, or they're like resting out of your combo, so you need to be tighter with them, which you can always bait. It's a pretty chill matchup, and they die really early. Like they die so early to dash attack and up throw, so it's really, really nice. You can just be more patient than them, and we have an advantage state. They don't really have an advantage state against us, so we just out reward them in all of those and in neutral, and we are chilling. So I wouldn't even be mad if base mage said, okay, this is +1 because of the kill power. You're good, but I'm thinking +2 right now. All right, bathroom break. I'll be right back in like 2 minutes. I'll be right back. I'm glad I checked that before still speaking. I was like, they're probably not hearing me, or like I probably muted myself. All right. Pokemon plushies. I love Pokemon, dude. I'm a big Pokemon fan. I did leave competitive because of the RNG though. It's so annoying. Anyways, yeah, upper and up tilt are huge in this matchup. That's a really recurring thing for the guys that are watching this live. Um, Characters, just think of characters that have bad hitboxes below them or don't have hitboxes that can reversal kill you, like Fox Nair or like Pyra Nair that straight up kills, you know? Characters like Mario, like Jigglypuff, that if they're like doing like a falling aerial and they trade with your up air or your up tilt, it's so worth doing, dude. Like, you're gonna keep them in the air so well, you know? Um, Compared to characters like that, like Fox or like Pyra, which instead you're probably gonna prefer to fish for parry timings or just shield directly below them to like punish them out of shield, you know? Um, so yeah, that's way easier. Favorite Pokemon? Unironically, I think in Loki might be Pikachu because of all I've gone through him with him. Just because of Nasha, you know. But the less vanilla answer I'll say is Loki Teddiursa. I love Teddiursa. Feeling Kettle, thank you so much. I really appreciate it, dude. I'll say it's Teddiursa or Eevee. I know Eevee is a really vanilla answer as well. I also love Espeon, all the evolutions. Uh, Really into like the mythicals like Celebi and Shaman, Manaphy. I love Manaphy, dude. But yeah, honestly, I'm gonna say my top three right now is probably Teddiursa, Pikachu, um, probably Eevee. Yeah, it's honestly very generics, but I really like those Pokemon. So you're more into cute Pokemon. I'm definitely more into the cuties. But one of my favorites out of Alola is Nihilego, and that guy is not pretty, but I really like that Pokemon. I don't know, I think they're so raw. Um, so yeah, let's keep it going for sure. Evolution's goated. Wish there was a Mimikyu. I wish the Pikachu skins were better, dude. They're pretty mid, honestly. Alright, let's keep it going. Alright, this is a big one. Kazuya. Probably gonna extend myself a little bit on this one. Actually, it's low-key a really simple matchup. It's a really simple matchup that you have to be very good in. Um, I wouldn't even be mad if you said it +1 or even, but I will say +1. Reason being, so the big thing about Kazuya, obviously electric is huge, right? Um, but what does Pikachu have against ground characters? Because Kazuya is mainly a ground character, right? Um, and he still does have a little bit of an air game with double jump fair, double jump nair. Upper is not that good against Pikachu, honestly. But the double jump fair and nair, they can be safe on shield against Pikachu. But they can only be safe on shield against Pikachu um, if they're not actually gonna combo, you know? So if they do like this hard nair, like right next to like the stage, like as they're landing, or like they're doing like a very falling nair, forward air, sorry, then that's not gonna combo, you know? Compared to like the unsafe ones, which are gonna combo into the 0 to death, you know, which is why the Kazuya do them. So out of shield against Kazuya is pretty good against the aerials. So now we know that when Kazuya jumps, we can either just shield and out of shield punish, and even if you're scared, you know, of them punishing you because they shielded because their aerial was safe, you know, and you do not true out of shield punish, you can always just do nair out of shield and drift back, you know, drift back so that you don't get upbeat or anything, you know. So yeah, that's pretty good. So now we have the air game unlock. How do we deal with electric? T-Jolt. T-Jolt is really good. If they ever wanted to reflect the T-Jolt, quick attack just punishes that straight up, and honestly it has a lot of lag, you know. So you can be ready to T-Jolt or you can punish from above, so that's an opening for sure. And crouching and down tilting is really good. Electric does hit Pikachu when he's doing the down tilt, but only basically at point blank range. So honestly, what you're gonna be doing with Pikachu a lot is be playing inside of that burst range and do down tilts at timings when you think they're gonna dash in. Do it like as a dash in check, you know? And if it hits, then great. That's a combo, that's a tech chase. If you miss, nothing happens. If they shield it, -4 down tilt. What the hell are they gonna do, you know? So yeah, it's really good. And then the thing that kind of settles it for me in neutral with Pikachu, um, is that past 30% you can mass shield with basically every character in the game. Because after 30% you go into tumble against Kazuya, and you can start DIing the down throw. So if you get grabbed, you can just DI out, and electric is not gonna come anymore. You know. So now at this point you're only playing against electric, um, and obviously it can hit you once and kill you. But Pikachu has enough mobility, enough pokes, safe on shield moves, good movement, T-Jolt to set up really good situations. If they do parry the T-Jolt into immediate electric, which is frame 1 invincibility, we can just stay like right outside of the burst range and react to the electric. Like right outside of the burst range and just dash attack him every single time, you know? So Kazuya is stuck being the slow guy that he is, more applicably against Pikachu. And obviously, again, we die early, we might get hit once, but I feel like it's very, very, very viable for Pikachu to play that neutral very carefully, very repetitively, and just get outside of positions that are very dangerous against Kazuya, you know? Um, I and my vouch for this is I played Ferbs offline in friendlies. I definitely won a lot more games against him. He was playing off that day. I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt. But then I played Riddles offline in friendlies for like an hour at Battle of BC, and we were going so even. Like I was winning the first games a lot more. Then we started going a lot more even, and he even said something like, "Oh shit, this is like you played the matchup a lot better offline, you know." And I'm like, yeah, like I'm actually surprised that I can like react to electric so well offline, you know. And also another thing that's really big about Kazuya in the matchup is he does require you to be able to react well to his recovery. Um, but you can kind of just shark him off stage, you know, like by sending him off stage. Shark in case he does the side B horizontally to the ledge. And then if he does it, obviously you spike him, you know, straight up dice. If he doesn't do that, he's probably gonna have to go low or do like an early up B because they're scared of you going to edge guard him, you know? And then at that point, you can still play an edge guard mix-up, you know? And if you're scared of the edge guard mix-up, like if it's at a point that they can just straight up B to the ledge, you know? Then, okay, you quick attack back to the ledge, and now you're ledge trapping them. So yeah, the advantage state is definitely very, very viable against Kazuya. And I just feel in terms of neutral, Pikachu should be able to manage to not get killed like very, very often. And honestly, I think like a lot of characters also do, just in general. I just feel like a lot of people are very greedy still with like looking for their combo starters and just like their own rewards instead of gauging the risk that comes into Kazuya and just baiting him out all game, you know. And what's annoying is obviously he's really, really heavy. But because of the edge guarding to me, like that gives it like a fluctuating factor for the advantage state. So sometimes he just dies really, really early, you know. And then we can just camp. So yeah. Hola Mu, ¿cómo estás, amigo? Bienvenido. Fusis el matchup contra todos, eh. Uh, oh yeah, remember to be careful by doing T-Jolts against the Rage Drive because it has super armor and infinite burst range. But you can still bait it out. You can just be aware that it's like around half stage. Let me bait him out to do it, and then if he whiffs, you can combo him. You can hit him, you know, whatever. So just be careful with it. And Loki, what you can do against Kazuya because he's so slow is if you're cornered and you feel like you might like quick attack straight to like an up B or something, or if you have pressure in the corner, Loki you can just jump off stage and go like the middle below the stage and just go to the other side. You know, he's very slow, so he's like what's gonna happen most likely is you're gonna reset neutral with him. You know, which is really really good for us. Bien, Marcos, que bueno verte en stream. Gracias, amigo. Gracias por pasar aquí. Lo aprecio mucho. I'm Loki gonna blow my nose. One sec. Ok. Deberías hacer más seguido. Es el plan. No estoy seguro del horario ni nada ahorita, pero lo estoy haciendo porque Shoris quería. Have you ever played a good Mii swordfighter? I did play Eric in offline money matches at SmashCon. I will talk about that matchup. I will talk about the Miis for sure. So yeah. Let's keep this going. Does the stream look good, guys? Is there any frame drops or anything? Or should I continue? Is everything okay? Just checking right now. Looks great. Stream looks fine to me. Okay, thank you guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I remember in Brick Bronze there was an event where a Manaphy egg would spawn in the beach and it would only spawn. What's Brick Bronze? I've never heard of that. I remember there was a similar event in like the Ranger games, you know. But yeah, all good. Thank you. Gracias, amigo. Gracias. Chucha ya diciendo que es ese plan hace mucho. Ya veremos, amigo. Ya veremos. Okay, Ken. Ah, that matchup's bad, dude. Loki, it could be -2 for him. And we'll talk about both Ryu and Ken. I think Ken might be my -2. I'm not sure. He's still very cheesy. He still kills very early. And Jazo is surprisingly good at the matchup. But also we've played like 10 sets and he's like took 1 out of me because I like super SD'd like a lot. And he also killed me like very early. But if you don't give him those, it's so hard, dude. Like he gets disadvantaged like one of the hardest, like one of the easiest characters to advantage state in the game for Pikachu. Like he gets juggled, he gets his focus attack killed with like the multi hits, he gets edge guarded, upbeat trades with downer, so he gets sent off stage even more. He gets ledge trapped, his neutral is not good, he's not really good at dealing with T-jolts. He has to rely on like parry immediate punishes, which is really baitable. It's tough, dude, it's really tough. Pikachu's good at SDIing out and away so that he falls out of the Shoryu or doesn't even get hit by the down to Shoryu, you know? It's tough, it's tough. He relies a little too much on like setups to kill Pikachu instead of like raw kill moves, you know? So that makes it hard for him to get stuff out of nothing, you know? So I'm gonna say Ken is +2. I don't even mind if you guys say it's +1. I totally can see it because of the cheese. And I'm gonna say Ryu is +1. Ryu's more of the same, except he has better turtling in terms of the fireballs, you know. Important thing against both Ryu and Ken, you can get stage control for free by crouching under the fireballs. Remember that crouching forwards and crouching in place with Pikachu is lower than crouching behind, because when he crouches or crawls backwards, he raises his tail, so the fireballs do actually hit him at that point, you know. So remember that, and if you're just crawling forwards, you know, you get stage control, you get into his face. He has bad burst range, he has bad mobility, so you can bait something out and just hit him. You can set up T-jolts, you can whiff punish him, you can honestly anti-air him with up tilt and up air. It's easy. Bully, gracias por el sub, lo aprecio mucho, amigo, muchísimas gracias. SDI out or up and away? I usually do down and out versus the down tilt. Because it makes it so that if they do like 2 down tilts, I'm usually not getting hit by the Shoryu. So you have to react immediately to hitting the first down tilt, you know. For Ryu, that becomes harder because the down tilt, hard down tilt Tatsu is a very consistent setup. But honestly, I've even gotten out of it by like doing SDI down and away and DI down and away as well, so that the hard down tilt sets me pretty low. I am able to like not get hit by the Tatsu in time, tech, and then just reversal him, dude. It's very sad for Ryu. When it happens to Vendetta so often. And honestly, outside of that, it's just more of the same, dude. It's just a character that's a little bit better at turtling, gets a little bit more out of raw hits than Ken, and yeah. A rough matchup, you know, that's why I think so. Remember that actually Ryu and Ken can up smash out of shield the rising aerial, so be careful with that. Because they crouch frame 1 in the animation, okay? So just remember that. Hola Rodriguito, bienvenido amigo, ¿cómo estás? Guapo, rico. Dedede. This matchup's ass, but I'm really bad at it. I don't enjoy fighting Dedede. In theory, you just shoot T-jolts and he cannot set up Gordos ever. Like, he just gets reversal every single time. The annoying thing is that he is very heavy. He is applicably very heavy because the other heavies get edge guarded, they get advantage stated, they just get gimped, you know. They get comboed to death. Dedede takes the hits really well, lives into high percents really well, and then doesn't really get edge guarded that often as in comparison to the other ones. So that makes it so that he has a lot of chances to hit us, you know. But honestly, if you're just careful with the Gordos, you know, you are near him to pressure him, You're ready to shield like the backers, you know. You're ready to not get tomahawk neutral beat, you know. Um, and you just go below the stage to not get like dash attacked or two framed in general. It should be very, very, very hard for him to win neutral, you know. And he shouldn't be like he should still kill us early, I'd say, but it's gonna be so hard for him to get the hits in, you know. So it's a very slow, annoying matchup that you have to be very careful with, similar to Byleth. But if you just don't give him those openings, it's just go time, you know. Camp Dedede and he can do anything. Yeah, Tijo just reflecting Gordo every single time is so funny, dude. Like it's so miserable for him. Que juegas contra el mejor Didi de Guate. ¿Y quién es ese, mano? Contame. El Gustavo, el héroe. Ok, Kirby. La Ligia. Ah, es cierto. La Ligia sí, a veces sí. No, no a mi Pikachu, pero a mi Lucina sí le ha ganado straight up. Sí, es buena. Ok, Kirby. Oh yeah, real quick, let's talk about the DDD using the jumps to mix up the landings. It's more than anything counting the jumps, but let's see the frame data real quick. Actually, I just want to show you guys. So you can count the jumps, or you can be aware that he doesn't really have great air mobility. So if he's gonna mix the timings up with the jumps, you can just go up there and hit him, similar to Meta Knight. But the other thing you can do compared to Meta Knight, which Meta Knight's falling aerials can be safe, the falling nair from above is -6 or worse, right? So at that point, you can just shield below him, like below the landing, and if he does any aerial on your shield, like even backer, unless it's like very, very spaced, you can just auto shield him, and that puts him in disadvantage all over again, you know? So that's very, very useful. If he's gonna mix the landings up with like a platform, you can just aim to hit at the timing where he goes to a platform by counting the jumps or just sharking below him, and you just put him in the juggle situation again, you know? So yeah, I definitely advise setting him off stage in case he messes up and you get like a early edge guard, you know? Because if you're gonna juggle him, you're gonna get small amounts of damage and he just lives until forever. But yeah, it's not bad at all, dude. Speaking of characters that stall with their jumps, what happened? Oh shit, I got scared, dude. How do you deal with the neutral beat properly? Just be directly below him, or just, you know, bait him to do it by being near him and then getting out of the way and just punishing him from above, you know? That's literally it. And then if he neutral beats your T-Jolt, quick attack punish every single time, like most reflectors. Alright. Kirby, I'll say +1. This character is good as hell at scrapping. There's that funny clip of H4 getting like 3-stocked by JJ. He is good at scrapping in neutral, but honestly, if you are just very ready with the anti-airs by like outranging him with like up tilt, by setting up T-Jolts and not playing scraps with him, you know, because his forward air is so good. It's so good. And playing very, very grounded, to like punish his aerials on your shield, you know, you should generally, and he's very light, you know, so you don't have to play this game plan for too long. You're just gonna advantage state him. He's very light. He's gonna die early. He's good at 2-framing us, but we can just go below the stage every single time. If we just send him off stage, if he goes low, we can just drag him down back air, or just keep rinse and repeating edge guards. If he decides to go high, he's so slow in the air, so we can just juggle him or call him out with thunder. The main thing you're gonna have to worry about is just him getting close to you and scrapping. But generally, we're gonna be so much better at getting stage control back and being on the corner than he is gonna be at doing that same thing, you know? He's gonna be much more unsafe. So yeah, I think it's only +1 because of the applicable claim power and frame data. And also, if he gets T-Jolt, it's so hard. It low-key becomes even. But that says a lot, you know? He gets one of the best approach tools in the game, and it's still even, you know? So just be careful with that, and you should be chilling, honestly. That's a scary matchup in terms of the kill power, but if you're careful, if you treat him kind of like Dr. Mario and Chodos, where you know their burst range is really, really shitty, and you just don't scrap with them, you're fine. You're gonna be so fine. Alright, I really get to win neutral versus him. You're probably not abusing, porque tienes tantos iconos en tu barra de tareas. No lo sé, amigo. Lo siento. Es que son varias cosas, son como para mover la Switch, así. But yeah, if you're losing neutral against Kirby often, it's probably because you're not setting up enough T-Jolt, you're probably not abusing mobility enough. And you're probably jumping a little too much and challenging him, you know, instead of tilting with like doing up tilts, doing down tilts, just safe pokes, you know. But it's definitely an annoying matchup. It can definitely go wrong at times. Alright, let's speed up. Link, +1, very bad burst range, relies a little too much on his projectiles. His walling is generally not going to be super safe, and if it is, it's going to be retreating. Like we said, we can just keep them cornered, you know. The annoying part is he is very, very good at killing. But honestly, if we get into mid-range and just pressure burst range often, he's so bad at interacting. And he kind of has to, because he has bad mobility, and we have really good frame data and mobility, so we kind of force him to do stuff, you know. We can parry his nair to punish him, and usually it's very telegraphed in my opinion. I would always basically send him off stage to like try to edge guard him or ledge trap him, you know. His ledge trapping is generally scary because of the bomb. But again, just go below the stage and you're gonna be fine. You're not gonna get 2-framed, you're not gonna get ledge trapped. You're gonna get ledge trapped by a normal ledge trap, you know. It's not gonna be like a setup based ledge trap, which is much harder to deal with. Back air, nair, actually pancake under Link's up B out of shield, so his up B, his out of shield is kind of shitty against Pikachu, I will say. And outside of that, he is very comboable. Honestly, one of the easiest characters to bridge in the whole game. And sometimes he just gets cheesed, you know, and since his frame data and mobility is very bad, if you are just careful and are pressuring him at proper times and just don't swing very mindlessly, you shouldn't be getting hit by the stuff that kills very early, you know. I learned that the hard way against Delta Force, which took me to game 5, and that was really, really stressful. But I realized after, okay, I wasn't baiting him out in burst range, I was actually running towards him a lot of the time, you know. So again, treat him kind of like a Shoto in mid-range and you're gonna be good. Link up smash checks short hop aerials though, which you shouldn't be doing unless you're doing like retreating aerials, you know. Retreating forward air. I would more than anything advise doing like retreating forward air, falling auto cancel forward air, the falling cross up back air behind his shield, or just poke his shield with like down tilt and T-jolts, you know. Eventually his shield is going to be damaged enough that you can do like a rising aerial, and that's going to shield poke, and that's a free neutral win, you know. Great, that's Pikachu for you. Little Mac, definitely +2, but Peanut made it super hard. I'm just gonna say, you have to be very ready for how big the burst range on his stuff is and how good the kill power is. Make sure to not get tech chased into platforms, because if he gets an up tilt in a platform, you're probably dead at like 60, 50 from up tilt up B. Then, honestly, one of the biggest things against Little Mac is knowing how to deal with the neutral B when he's landing, because it has damage-based armor, which you can always break with dash attack or down air, which down air is my preferred one when I'm juggling him, and just send him up outwards, you know. Then T-Jolt is really good against him. Remember that his up B is very, very good out of shield and also very good as a combo breaker. So you have to be very tight with your combos. And especially shielding against him at burst range is really, really good, because he's gonna have to take risks that are unsafe on shield, because his moves on the ground are not actually safe, and obviously he doesn't have aerials, right? So it's very skewed, but the kill power is very scary and the mobility is very, very scary, you know. So if you commit at the wrong times, you can easily lose this matchup. Don't even feel bad. Definitely a tougher matchup than it might seem in terms of matchup knowledge, but it's definitely really, really good for us, you know. And last thing I want to say is it's surprisingly hard to edge guard him, because counter makes it like a 50-50 kind of if he's close enough to the stage. Same of the, because of the side B, it has invincibility. If he has to be, it's very free. You just trade with down air and send him outwards. It's so free. But if he still is near enough the stage, it can like do 50-50s with like side B timings and counter, you know, to hit you for your preemptive edge guards. Then you're probably gonna have to bait them out. But then if you send them at a low enough angle or far enough off stage, they are probably fucked. They're probably gonna die. Little Mac still gets juggled, still gets ledge trapped. He has 2 frames, but we can go below the stage and not get 2 framed. And yeah, that's about it. He doesn't have a juggle game. He doesn't ledge trap us that well, you know. Uh, and again, you can just circle camp him. That's the classic against Lim. Like just circle camp him. With like platforms, be really careful. Choose your openings, and if you want, you can time him out. You know. The goat is back on Twitch. Let's go. Thank you, Mr. Chaj. Welcome. Um, let's see. Lucario. Okay, shoutouts to Armadillo, which had my number for the longest time. We haven't played offline, but I've actually won more sets recently online. Um, Alright. I'm thinking +1, but I don't even care if someone says it's even. I can easily say it. Lucario has a lot of annoying stuff in the matchup. He has a charge shot character, he has the counter, so you have to be really careful with T-Jolt against both of those. He is effectively a walling character, and the walling kills at 50 with aura. He is scary to go in and against because he is walling and he kills you really early. The edge guards are not as free as it may seem. Like, it can be really free if you manage to like grab the ledge and just react to like the startup animation on like the up B, which you can just like do rising down or rising back here to just rinse and repeating against him. But yeah, he has movement, and that's a really rare thing for like a zoning character, you know, and that makes it so that catching him and killing him is much harder. Granted, he still gets advantage. He still struggles to land. He still gets ledge trapped. He still can get edge guarded early. But dude, it's scary to do stuff against him. You can just get reversal at like 50 or get like stringed at like 20 with like max rage aura and land in front of him. He whiff punishes you with force smash at literally 20. And you might straight up die. He has good out of shield, but all that means is you just have to be aware and space around his shield, you know. Poke a lot with down tilt, poke a lot with retreating fair. T-Jolt is still very usable. I love to use T-Jolt to bait out counters and be far away from him and just punish him with either dash attack or a quick attack out of shield. Or if he abuses Aura Sphere to deal with T-Jolt, if it's not fully charged, then we clank, you know, we reset neutral. But then, I can get to pressure him, I get to get close to him. But if it's fully charged, the Aura Sphere goes through the T-Jolt, yeah. But they're gonna be so tempted to use it, you know, so it just wastes the Aura Sphere. So it's fine. So I think because of the consistency of the neutral and how often we get to threaten the advantage states, we end up winning the matchup, but it's such a cheesy matchup. It ends up basically being even at times, dude. I don't even blame any Pikachu for thinking that. So yeah. Alright. Let's see. One sec, I'll just send a DM. Yeah, he does be living. Alright. Lucas. +1 or even. I'm not gonna cap. I'm leaning more towards +1, I will say that. Because Lucas is very limited in his burst range. So, while we are not able to use T-Jolt at all because of the magnet, we are able to abuse mobility really well. He's mostly gonna be a wall, you know, like he's gonna be walling us a lot more in the matchup instead of like approaching. And if he ends up approaching, his best approach option is gonna be Nair, you know. And it's out of shieldable for sure. If he wants to zone us out, he's gonna have to do retreating PK Fires, which gives us stage control, and eventually we can threaten him, you know. If we get a hit in, it's either we send him off stage and edgeguard him, which Pikachu's pretty good at edgeguarding the tether, and if he up-Bs, he's probably dead. And if he decides to go high, he is so bad at landing. He's floaty, he doesn't have good hitboxes, and yeah, that's basically the thing about Lucas in the matchup, you know. It's very abusable advantage state. One thing that Pikachus don't enjoy about the matchup is the 2-frame ability of the up-B, you know, like he has down smash, he has forward tilt, and we can die very early to all that stuff, you know. But again, go below the stage. You're gonna be fine. You're gonna be chilling. Assuming he could wall with double jump cancel Sair. Double cancel Sair is usually more of a combo exterminator in my experience, you know. Any major changes from your pin matchup chart from earlier this year? Uh, I think there will be once we get to the events and the losing matchup, but I'll explain then. Otherwise, I think I wanted to make this more for the content and just explain the matchups, you know. So yeah. All right. Now let's talk about Lucina. I used to be a believer of this matchup being +1 or even, but because I played Lucina as well, but honestly, I can still see it. Lucina's a very messed up character with good mobility, good straight aerials. One of the characters that can let trap Pikachu pretty well because of the walling and good kill power. The arc allows her to like threaten Pikachu while he's recovering. You know, like he can just like do the arc on the backer rising, and that just covers a good amount of space of the quick attack. You know, and obviously backer kills very early. But neutral is what's really hard about her against Pikachu, because she has to deal with T-Jolt, and T-Jolt just makes the timings on sword characters very linear, you know. So it becomes very obvious. Lucina has to shield a lot, and then if she shields, we can pressure the shield with like down tilt, retreating fair, you know, T-Jolts. The shield eventually gets shield poked. Advantage state is good against her. We can threaten edge guards. She definitely gets ledge trapped. She definitely gets juggled. But yeah, I'm still leaning towards +1. I will say +1, honestly. Yeah, it's a very straightforward matchup. But she is very prone to getting cheesed against Pikachu. I'm not gonna lie. And if the Pikachu just avoids the disadvantage states, it's so hard for her to get like raw hits in neutral and just make a lot out of them, you know, compared to Pikachu. So yeah, Pikachu is just really consistent at poking. Alright, Luigi. This matchup I used to be so bad at. Now I'm really good at it, honestly. I really enjoy Luigi. I think I'm actually like very well versed against Waka offline. I think I actually haven't lost a set against him offline. So that's really good. I have beaten Kiraj the last few times online. And yeah, the main thing is obviously play around grab at 0% all the time. T-Jolt is very good. Remember that once Luigi like jumps, he's probably gonna land with Sair, right? And Sair is not punishable out of shield at all, but it has a blind spot diagonally. So, oh yeah, I played Luigi actually. We did a lot of friendlies offline. It was very, I was winning at first a lot, like honestly, even 2-3 stalking him, you know. And then he adapted, and it was way closer, almost even, honestly, or Loki probably even. It was more of the same, you know. Like he was probably just way more confident with some of the options in the matchup. But I still feel like Pikachu has the advantage in neutral, because of setting up T-Jolts, of the mobility, of poking his shield safely. You shouldn't really be getting out of shielded that often if you're careful, you know. And then Pikachu just sends him off stage, and if he side Bs, we can T-Jolt the side B for it to clank, and then it stops him, you know. And then if he does like a rising side B to like go over that, we can just fair drag him down, and then he's just dead, you know, because he's getting dragged down. Downer trades with up B and kills him. We're really good at just sharking him and then just punishing him after he releases his recovery move, you know. And yeah, honestly, like I believe we still win neutral by a little bit, and by winning that little bit more in neutral, we can bait out Tornado if it's not like a true combo and just choose to send them off stage. Or if it's like a true combo, focus on sending them off stage and they're dead, you know. Their latch trapping isn't that viable against us. Sair, it's a 2-frame, but we can go below again, as usual. Doesn't really edgeguard us, and we still juggle him, we still edgeguard him, which we should always be sending him off stage instead of above us. And he still gets ledge trap, you know. Like the main thing he has going for him is obviously the 0 to death if he gets it. Or just the raw kill power. But I still believe we're really good at avoiding the kill power. Alright. Here's the first even matchup. Very similar to Luigi. Obviously very similar to Dr. Mario. Main thing is he just has great frame data. He just has random huge combos out of nowhere. He is very good at threatening us with the better mobility compared he has to Mario. He has good out of shield. He has good threatening of like two framing if we don't have like resources. And the flood sometimes makes it so sometimes we have to recover to the ledge. So we're playing the consistent dash attack two frame mix up, or we're getting two framed by the forward smash, or we go to the stage and we might get hit. So that's scary. His kill power is good. His frame data is good. But the main thing we have over him is we have better mobility. We juggle him really, really well for damage, up until I want to say like 80%, 60%. Where instead of sending him up at that point, we should be sending him off stage because he's gonna be far off stage enough to the point where he has to recover and play a mix-up of trading with our downer. And if he trades with our downer with his up B, he's gonna die. So yeah, in that regard, we can play very, very safe. We can play very poking based with down tilt, falling fairs, in place aerials. Sometimes you can set up T-Jolt and punish the cape true wise. But it's still a very, very tight matchup. And honestly, if I were to give it to anyone, I would say it's for Pika. I would say it's low-key +1 in the future. But right now, it's still too tight of a matchup, and I think only H4 is really, really good at it. Hola Radiant, ¿cómo estás, amigo? Bienvenido. Also, stage picks are really, really good for Mario in this matchup, unfortunately. I'd say always ban PS2, because I don't like getting two-framed. And probably low-key ban Small Battlefield over Battlefield, because if you know how to DI the combos on Battlefield, the ceiling is higher, so you're not going to die as early. Compared to Small Battlefield, the ceiling is really low, so you just die. Hola, hola, ¿cómo va, bro? Aquí haciendo esta matchup chart y la verdad me estoy cansando. Estoy low-key considerando dejar el stream aquí y terminarlo otro día. No lo sé, ¿qué opinan? Porque ya van 2 horas. Y faltarían como otras 2 para la mitad del cast. Alright, guys. I'm thinking of ending the stream around here, because I'm already getting tired. And it's my first stream back. And it's still a very long list. So, yeah, I don't know. I think I will... Alright, which one? Okay, I'm gonna do up until Ness today, alright? Let's do up until Ness and we'll leave it there. Because I do want to talk about Game & Watch and Ness for sure. Alright, let's keep it going real quick. Marth, same thing as Lucina, just... Loki, Marth does better than Lucina. Marth is really good at getting tippers against Pikachu, especially with side B and especially with forward tilt. Yeah. Okay, maybe not better, but they're about as equal, honestly. So I'm still gonna say +1. Still very, very similar matchup. And because Pikachu is very small when he lands, I don't know if you guys know this, but as the thinner the character when like they're on the ground, the easier it is to get like a tipper. So yeah. I noticed you rarely get two-framed because you just go under the stage, which is such a good mix-up. It's so good against everyone. This is practically good for practice. Good practice for listening to Spanish. Oh, thank you. I really appreciate it. Yeah, I would switch into Spanish mode, but I know most of you guys here are English speakers. So yeah. Yeah, Ayo, I appreciate that you guys wanna let me rest. I will do so. I just want to talk a little bit more for sure. All right, Mega Man. This guy is very bad at scrapping. Very, very bad at scrapping. Pellets are not that big of a deal, dude. Like, we can just fair diagonally, like above the pellets, and then if Mega Man at any point decides to shield, we can just space the fair and not get it out of shielded at all. He gets comboed to hell. He gets edge guarded really, really well if you know the timings and the mix-ups. He gets juggled really well. He is... His zoning is not really all that good against Pikachu because of both quick attack. T-Jolts kind of force him to like be pelleting a lot more, which allows us to get stage control a little bit. And then he isn't really safe on shield at all, honestly. So we just get random hits in, we combo him to hell, we send him off stage, we just cheese him, you know, and we just win very consistently. He doesn't really let trap us. He has the forward smash, I guess, but that's like a timing thing, you know. And we can just like release the ledge, re-grab it, and go under whatever. He doesn't two-frame us. He doesn't juggle us. We just go off stage again. I don't know. It's tough, man. It's tough. I played MPG multiple times on Wi-Fi, and like I always 3-0 him. Like that's no shame to him. I know he's amazing, but that matchup's ass, bro. That matchup's so bad. Loki considering +2, but it's too much of a solid character in my opinion. Shout out to my bilingual folks who understand both for sure. Hola gato guapo, ¿cómo estás, amigo? Alright. Meta Knight, shout outs to Jay, which I know is banned on his country right now, but he taught me this matchup and pushed me to be so much better of a player, honestly. I played this matchup for so long, dude. And recently I played a set against him, and I 3-0'd him, you know. It felt very, very structurized, I want to say. Like a very, very structured matchup, because he has the mobility. He's actually one of the few characters that can actually threaten to edgeguard Pikachu consistently well. Obviously the ladder combos are scary, but actually that's one thing that I heard a lot of people talk about when Meta Knight was popular in Smash 4, but not so much in this game. You can actually just camp him out on the corner from 0 to like 30 or 20, and you never get laddered if you DI out. Never. It's literally so hard if you like DI out and SDI out. So yeah, then you don't get cheesed at that point. And now you get to dictate the pace of that matchup with T-Jolts, with pokes of like forward air and down tilt, which he doesn't have the out of shield for. You honestly effectively sometimes outrange him. He is comboable, very comboable, getting still gets bridged, you know. He is good at stalling in the air, and he air camps, but honestly, his air mobility is bad, so you can just straight up, you can straight up up air him, you know. It's not gonna go anywhere. He's hard to edgeguard, but you can just set up T-Jolts to like two-frame him with him like over and over, and that's just free damage, always, 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 you know. And so you just get to dictate the pace of the matchup. The only scary things is when you don't have a resource and you have to recover with quick attack at a predictable timing, then at that point, yeah, it's scary. But if you have the resources, you have so many timing mix-ups between going high, going low, 1 sip, 2 sips, going with side B, etc. You know, so it's not that Meta Knight is bad against Pikachu. It's just Pikachu naturally outrewards Meta Knight. You know, it's just a better character. That's what it is. Are you going to upload this as a video? Yes, I will. What is your answer to Dimensional Cape? Just bait it out, honestly. Like, you really don't want to challenge him when he's on the ledge, because he has a lot of mix-ups, and it's very lagless if he auto-cancels it. So, what I advise is just shoot T-Jolts from, like, roll distance, and be ready to punish him if he does it, you know? De nada por enseñar el matchup. El que más tips me dio fue el Big Boss, no te voy a mentir, la verdad. Pero también me diste unos buenos tips, no te voy a mentir. So, yeah, it's definitely tough for him. We are a very safe character that gets a lot out of nothing, and he struggles to get huge stuff against us, you know? Alright, Mewtwo. One of the first charge shot characters, right? I'll say +1. Charge shot is scary, kill power is scary, but dude, if you're content by getting into burst range against him, like pressuring him while he's charging Aura Sphere, or sorry, the Shadow Ball, if it's fully charged, shoot a T-Jolt, make him waste it. And then if he wastes it, basically, you get to go in on him and then pressure, you know. If he does the small fire Shadow Balls, you can just inch slowly but surely against him. And he's not good at scrapping, dude. Like, we have good frame data. We can poke at him safely on shield. He has such a huge hurt box, so he gets poked very, very easily. He doesn't have good mobility, and also because of the tail, he gets poked very easily because of that as well. He's very light. He gets juggled to hell. He gets ledge trapped to hell and back. Like, you can just shield ledge trap him very, very easily. What else? You can two-frame him, like threaten him effectively at like 2 frames, and then if not, you can go back and ledge trap him. And then he doesn't have that much of an advantage state against us. Like at most, you can just like Shadow Ball Pikachu when he's recovering, or like when he's getting off the ledge, but you still have to predict the timing. And if you get the timing as Mewtwo, then you got it, bro. You read my timing between my normal mix-ups and the quick attack timing mix-ups. So yeah, again, more Pikachu natural art rewarding. It's very easy. It's very hard for me to get out of shield. We can just mash safe moves on him, and it's so incredibly hard, dude. But he has really good kill power, and sometimes if they do start zoning you out and you have to approach them, and they're getting some good reads against you, especially with like the shadow balls, it might go wrong. You might just die very, very early for sure. So yeah. I'm curious about the Joker matchup. I already talked about it pretty in depth, honestly. So when I finish the stream, it's gonna be stored as a recent VOD, so you can watch it there. Can you stop at Pac-Man instead? Sure, man. I will stop at Pac-Man for sure. Mii Brawler +1. It's honestly just worse Fox, I wanna say. Okay, it's worse Fox in terms of neutral, but better Fox in terms of recovery, because Fox just sometimes gets cheesed. Brawler's recovery is definitely much better at not getting interrupted like that. But again, it's a character that, has to scrap against Pikachu. He is very mobile and hits very hard, especially if he gets the platform extensions. He might kill you very early. But if you know what to look out for, especially like the run-up grabs, the soft nair setups, the up tilts, you shouldn't really be dying early at all. Like he doesn't really juggle at all. And again, we just jump off stage. He doesn't two-frame well. He doesn't edge guard well. He ledge traps well in terms of ability, but doesn't hit like particularly hard. Like the main thing you're gonna worry about is like backer, and I mean like that thing kills decently. Like it's a normal kill move in my opinion. Where Pikachu can just focus on sending him off stage, maybe trading with his up B, and then eventually cheesing him. And if not, in neutral, again, with like the mobile characters, we say that we don't play neutral up until we have stage control. That point they're cornered, they're gonna have to commit into something, and we're better at scrapping and just playing the out of shield game, poking safely, setting up T-Jolt so that their tempos is messed up, and we dictate the pace of the match. So another case of getting out rewarded by Pikachu, man. What can I say? Mii Gunner. Alright, let's list this as +1. Alright. So the main set I've been playing against is Capitancitos, which is the down B grenade that you can hit back. The charge shot, which again, normal charge shots, what we do against them is we get into burst range, we pressure them by like jumping in place or backwards. We don't approach them. We usually, our resource is gonna be making them waste the charge shot, and we try to not get hit by them at long range. If we are at like long range, we're gonna use T-Jolt to make them wasted if it's like basically fully charged. And if it's not fully charged, we're gonna use a T-Jolt to approach them and pressure them while they're charging it, because it's not gonna be as much of a threat, Side B, missile, that shit is broken. That missile is so broken because it goes through Thunder Jolt, it kills, and it's pretty lagless, honestly. It's very, very dumb. You kind of have to treat it like a charge shot, which once you are at burst range against the missile, they cannot missile anymore safely. They're going to be much more scared because you're going to be much closer to them. So at that point, now they have to scrap against you, or they have to zone you out like very closely, which that's so much easier to deal with because if we have out of shield, we have mobility. Their frame data is much worse than ours, So at that point, the main thing we're going to worry about is the up smash out of shield, the backer and up tilt at killing, which are really good moves, and then once they do get the hits in, you jump off stage because challenging the upper is not smart. You're going to die very early. And then ledge trapping. Again, usually the go-to with Pikachu is go to the other side when you're getting ledge trapped, so you don't get ledge trapped. But sometimes you're gonna have to deal with the ledge trap against Mii Gunner, and what you do there, you just drop from the ledge as they're setting it up and hit an upper, like a falling upper. Don't even jump, just falling upper from the ledge, and you just swing it back at them. And now you hit them before they're out of the lag, and you're out of the ledge. Congratulations, bro. So that leaves us with a character that is pretty heavy. Honestly, very edge guardable. You have to like grab ledge preemptively and just do rinse and repeat backers and downers. You know, sometimes they'll cover themselves with like the missiles and the projectiles, but in my experience, it's still pretty maneuverable. You know, and if you're sharking them, they're gonna be scared to throw the projectile. You know, and maybe you catch them while they're in the lag of the projectile and just kill them. You know. Or if they recover without a projectile, then the recovery that I played against, which is the one that you can angle a lot and it's pretty fast, doesn't have a hitbox, so it's not a problem. And yeah, it's another zoner. It's particularly scary because they have very strong killing zoning tools, and their scrapping tools are actually pretty strong. But if you don't give them the free openings, you know, and are very patient at closing the space out before taking risks, it's gonna be so much more chill, dude. Mii swordfighter. Alright, I played Eric in this matchup. Kritas, yo dije que no iba a hablar de Peach, que iba a dejar el stream justo en Pac-Man. Lo siento, amigo. Pero lo voy a seguir un día de estos, lo prometo. Cloud is even, cope harder. I argued. I talked about it probably, like possibly being even. I even was considering him putting him here. But I ended up deciding no because we're not one of the best characters at just parrying because of the height, you know. We have Tijo to dictate the tempo pretty well. We can, like, you're only safe if you retreat completely, you know. And once you retreat completely, you have to scrap out of the corner, which means you have to like do approaching or in-place aerials, which is way more manageable and parryable, you know. And if I get that random hit, you might get cheesed, you know. So I don't know. Just dies though. Yeah, which is why it's not +2. I definitely see it, bro. No, I definitely see the value of Cloud's neutral and the kill power for sure. I just think if we're really careful, we get to choose when to play the game and when not to, and that's not something that Cloud can particularly do, just because of the existence of T-Jolt and our burst options, which you have to respect a lot, you know. And if one of those burst options hits you, now you're off stage, and I can set up a 50-50 that kills you, you know. So I feel like that's why it's rougher. Mii swordfighter. Okay. So I played Eric, the Mii swordfighter, in a money match in Smashcon. We played 2. He beat me in the first one because I had no idea what I was doing, and I beat him in the second one. And let me show you what moves he was using, because it was so awkward. I told myself if Mii swordfighter was even slightly a better character, this matchup would be even or losing, like straight up, dude. Because down to -6, that's safe, right? That's very safe. The character's kill power is not horrible. I'm not gonna lie, it's not horrible. Their out of shield is not particularly good, but he did it footstool out of shield up B, and I'll show you guys which up B he was doing. But yeah, up smash caught me once. I think he like crouched under my rising backer and killed me for it. Pretty early. The Sony moves are okay. It's a normal sortie, you know. Backer is pretty good. Like, it's not huge range, but it's very safe, so that's cool. There's not a problem. Upper is good. Like, the down throw upper thing, you should just always be ready to DI, so it's not that big of a deal. But here's the problem. The specials, dude. The specials, Gill Strike, again, it's a 2-framing move, so just go below it. It's fine. Thing is, it does cover the ledge pretty actively, so you might mess up and get hit by it. But it generally isn't that much of an issue, right? Then Chakram, you know, very good zoning move. Like, you have to treat Mii Swordy as like a sword zoner and as a projectile zoner, you know? So that means you have to walk a lot, you have to be very careful when you're playing neutral and approaching, you have to get stage control first, you know, get into burst range. Then, here's the 2 annoying ones. This up B is crazy, and I'll explain why. And obviously where is it? The reflector. The reflector is very quick. Frame 5 of the reflector, and it's one of the hardest reflectors to punish in the game. Can be very versed, so it doesn't matter if you're facing the other way. It allows them to approach us very well, you know. And the thing about Mii Swordy is, since he's gonna be zoning and we cannot use T-Jolt, you know, against compared to like every other zoner, literally, then we are stuck playing normal neutral, you know, just mobility, just fading out with movement, etc. That's fine. But once we get them off stage, actually, um, it's actually very hard to punish him because, for example, Sephiroth has this up B. Where is it? Sephiroth has this. Dude, I lost the up B. Okay, never mind. It is here. Sephiroth has this exact same up B. But the thing about Sephiroth's up B, and I'll actually set up music while I talk about this, is it doesn't beat T-Jolt. You know, like you can just set up T-Jolt to where he is gonna be, and the T-Jolt is just gonna hit him. You know, it's gonna go through the up B, and then you can just straight up combo into like a downer or something. You know, if he's recovering, like hugging the stage, you can do like a B reverse T-Jolt like below the stage, like down, and hugging the wall basically, and that will hit him. And that's how I've even gimped Tweak when we played friendlies. You know, and that's really really good. Where this up B doesn't care about the T-Jolt and just clanks with it and eats it through. You know, so it doesn't end up mattering at all. So he's still a very bad character. He still has very bad mobility. He still doesn't have good kill power. So we naturally out reward him like usual. But it's definitely a very annoying matchup if you don't know him, because he is way more Sony, way more campy, and very hard to cheese compared to other characters. But if you're content to just playing good neutral, it's fine. It's chill for sure. Alright. Let's play some... I guess let's play some... I'll do Splatoon. Love Splatoon, bro. Alright. So yeah. Let's keep it going. 4 more matchups. Alright. So Min Min. Loki could be +2. Pikachu can just play long range shielding, honestly. Setting up T-Jolts, and that's gonna force Min to use Mega Watt to go through the T-Jolt a lot of the time. And then that's gonna force them to, you know, waste their arm. I'm gonna jump. They're probably gonna waste another one, or they're gonna jump. Now I'm gonna land, and now they're gonna have to land. Or, so like I either anti-air them, or I close in on the stage, and now they're gonna scrap with me. And Min is not as good at scrapping, and Pikachu's low-key like the best scrapper in the game, in terms of frame data, you know? Then, if Min does smash arms, they're stuck in place, so I can just quick attack on reaction every single time. So yeah, it's a matter of Pikachu not really caring about playing the long range for a little bit, and then getting into the mid-range / close range. Min not really having much to deal with that out of shield. Like, she's not gonna punish us out of shield well. She doesn't have safe on shield pressure. Like, if she jumps, she has to land with like Nair, and Nair on shield is never safe basically. The timing mix-up of downer is not good, honestly. It's very risky. And then if we get any single hit, we send them off stage, and they're a tether character. So they're off stage, we play a 50-50, and they might just die at 0. And if not, they are very bridgeable, and if not, honestly, we just get to set up T-Jolts to like force them to do the arms, wait for their second arm to come out, or like a smash arm to come out, then quick attack whiff punish them, or just close the space and just do that over and over and over. And their disadvantage state is very, very abusable. And one of the biggest things that Pikachu can avoid against Min is we don't get 2-framed by the arms, because we get to go below the stage every single time. Min doesn't juggle us at all, so it's a good time. And then the only thing that's kind of scary sometimes is the ledge trapping itself, because she gets to cover a lot of timings with good kill power. But still, Pikachu has it much better than so many characters, dude, with quick attack privilege. So we just get to skip so many states of the game. I want to say, like, if you guys want to argue for +1 just because of the kill power and, I don't know, footstool out of shield implementations, etc., I can see it. But Pikachu can just choose, okay, I'm not gonna take a risk up until I get like stage control, or you mess up, and I just get a punish that leads into a huge advantage, and I can just cheese you, you know? That's bad. +1, +2 for me personally. I could definitely agree, for sure. Would you be willing to record your wife attorneys and upload them to YouTube? I've been thinking about it. Like maybe like not even commentating or anything, because I definitely get distracted, and I like spending time with like my girlfriend when I'm doing those. But we'll see. Samus is definitely a very tough matchup. Spoilers, I think it's +1, but it's very hard for sure. It's very, very hard. For sure, in terms of playing it correctly. It's a very disciplined matchup. Alright. Pac-Man. No, not Pac-Man, what the fuck? Mr. Game & Watch. Let's talk about Mr. Game & Watch. Alright. Fine. -1. But I think there is a very, very strong case for the matchup to be effectively even, honestly. Why? So, Game & Watch relies on his approaches being Nair, right? And Nair can get shielded, and unless they do like a perfect falling Nair, which is -5, we get to punish it with Nair out of shield every single time. And that's just solid chip damage, right? Okay, then what do we do about that Nair out of shield, you know? Out of, like, when he's in disadvantage. Obviously, we don't really edge guard him. We can go off stage with him to, like, char him and, like, maybe bait out, like, an up B or, like, a downer and just, like, fight him very low. But if he doesn't mess up, it's very hard to edge guard him. So we have to rely a lot more on, like, 2 frames, you know, with, like, forward tilt, maybe downer, and ledge trapping, you know. Like, both ledge trapping are really good. Forward smash ledge trapping is really good. I do enjoy T-jolting him, even if he does like a down B, you know? Like, sure, he absorbs it, but then he has to like up B or re-grab ledge without invincibility, and that can be huge, you know? That can be really, really good. So, I just think that he doesn't give us anything for free, in terms of neither disadvantage state and advantage state, because he does juggle very well. He's the best juggler in the game, but again, we just jump off stage and avoid the juggling, right? He has Chef, which is really good at 2-framing with the bucket or with the Chef, you know, like it 2-frames us, and then if it hits us, we can get comboed to forward tilt or whatever, you know. Down smash is also very good at 2-framing us, but that's why you ban PS2 and just go below the stage every single time, right? And he doesn't really edge guard us. Like, that's a character that if you notice that he jumps off stage with us, you can mix up your recovery enough. So not that big of a disadvantage state for us either, you know. If Game & Watch has to land against us, that's our advantage state. It's probably gonna key, and we can punish key on our shield with both up smash if it's in front of us, or backer if he's behind us. And if he lands far away from us, we can just dash attack, you know. We can just drop shield dash attack or drop shield quick attack, and just punish it every single time. So that's consistent. No, T-Jolt, 3 T-Jolts bucket does kill very, very early. It kills us at like 50, 40. Not worth it, not worth it. Though I have played the matchup with them having the bucket for a while, and I only do it if I have like a huge lead, because at that point it's very easy to just get free damage, you know. And then, so neutral, the main thing is they're gonna do a lot of grounded approaches, like a lot of run-up shield, you know, which is checkable with down tilt, which is down tilt is actually safe against up B out of shield, even though our down tilt is -4 on shield, and up B is frame 3, it auto spaces. So unless it's like completely point blank, it auto spaces and it makes it so that Game & Watch up B whiffs, okay? So now we have kind of like 2 dynamics. It's Game & Watch approaching with Nair, and us covering the ground with like down tilt, you know? So if he nairs, we can shield and nair out of shield every single time and drift back if we don't want to get out of shielded back either. Or we can honestly, if we're ready for it, we can dash attack under the nair rising hitboxes, and we actually do hit him before the nair hits our dash attack, right? That's very good risk reward. If he runs up and shields or just approaches on the ground, down is very good at checking him. So if you manage to get one of those good hits in before Game & Watch gets a good hit in, you just run the fuck away, bro. You just run away, because honestly, like, yeah, he's good at hitting you. You're mainly going to be playing around grab and nair, but you just run the hell away from him. And we have good mobility, we have a good circle camping, we have quick attack, and we can go below the stage if we ever get hit, so the advantage state is not going to be as crazy for him as he is doing it against other characters, you know. So that's why realistically I can definitely see it being very, very even as a timeout matchup, and we honestly do kill him very early, you know. One last thing that is kind of actually I kind of forgot, it's fine. That's probably like the biggest thing about the matchup. Oh yeah, I remembered, never mind. One thing that's so annoying about Game & Watch in this matchup, right, is the smash attack spam, especially up smash. Like, when do you run in on him? And if he just whiffs on like the up smash, you know, like the only thing that's completely safe is like forward smash, right? So if you are able to like walk up to him and charge a forward smash, he's probably gonna release it and just be chill, you know. And usually you're not gonna get that chance that often, you know. But if you ever see him charge a forward smash for or like an up smash for a little bit, you can do full hop Thunder Jolt into and make sure you can nair like during that full hop of the Thunder Jolt, right? You can do a full hop Thunder Jolt onto him, and so he either gets hit by the Thunder Jolt and that Thunder Jolt combos into nair up smash, or he releases the up smash, hits the Thunder Jolt, that eats the Thunder Jolt, has no hit lag, and we just whiff punish the up smash with like falling nair up smash. So that's our main method to dealing with the up smash spam and the smash attack spam if you ever need it. Eclipse, thank you so much for the sub, dude. I really appreciate it. Gonna head out. Absolutely love watching your streams. Learned a lot more about Pika from this stream. I really appreciate it, bro. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you for the sub, and I hope to see you more soon. Let's talk in the future for sure. I'll see you then. So yeah, it's just applicably a neutral. Game & Watch risk reward is so much better than Pikachu's. But I can definitely see a future where this matchup becomes even. But for now, I'm down to take the L, bro. I'm down to take the L and say -1. Okay. Okay. Hi Mitten, what's good, bro? What's good? My goat. But yeah, F Game & Watch. Alright, Ness. And this is my hot take. And honestly, let's just do this, man. Let's eliminate this tier. We only have a -1 or even because of all of that I just explained for Game & Watch, right? So Ness, I'm gonna list as even. I don't even care if you guys like think like I don't mind if you guys think it's -1 or even. But I have been playing it very, very well recently. I played Sen once offline in a money match. That was a while ago. That was like Smash Con 2 years ago. Or actually, I think it was main stage. Never mind. And obviously, I played it a lot online. And I know online is not equal to offline. But dude, from my experience, we can just move around him so well. He's very stubby still. Like, we are Pikachu, right? But he is very, very stubby. And Pikachu has one of two things against his stubbiness. He can either, actually 3 things. He can out of shield certain attacks, so you just have to be ready for that, you know. He can air to air certain attacks after they whiff. For example, like Fair, you know, you can just run up to him and back air to whiff punish on the air his Fair, you know. And if you're ready to like read the magnet, you can just Fair him or like forward smash him, you know, because he kind of has to land or do a mix up, because if not, he's gonna get whiff punished. Or lastly, honestly, our tail, like up tilt and upper, contest his stuff very, very, very well. So neutral isn't even that rough, and we actually out-mobility him, so that's a plus for us, you know. We get to choose when to play the game. Obviously, we don't have T-Jolt to just approach for free, but we out-mobility him, we have quick attack to whiff punish him, and the main thing you're just gonna be playing around is PK Fire in neutral, you know. And obviously at kill percent, he just has way too many kill moves, but it's, in my experience, it's fine enough to just avoid the kill moves, you know. Like obviously back throw is a big one, backer is another huge one. Upper shouldn't really hit you. Let's talk about the disadvantage states actually for Pikachu. Just juggling is not that big of a deal. Pikachu jumps off stage, so he doesn't get uppered. This is where a lot of Pikachus are bad at the matchup. They get yo-yoed over and over, and they're like, what the hell do I do? How do I recover? It's the only character that I cannot recover against. Just go below, bro. Just ban PS2 every single time, and just go below. You never get yo-yoed ever. And now you're stuck in the ledge trap, but that's so much easier, you know. Like at that point, if they want to yo-yo there, they have to set it up, so that's a mix-up in itself. And then quick attack 2 can sometimes clank with the yo-yo actually, so that's good if you need that as a last resource. And then obviously we don't get edge guarded, you know. Ledge trapping is going to be very normal. So now let's talk about the other side, like what happens after we win neutral. He is very floaty. He is very stubby when he lands, so he is very bad at landing, you know. So you can just up air, up tilt, up air, dash attack, whiff punish, over and over. So it's very good for that. You can send him off stage, which you can either like force situations for him to like, you know, like throw a T-Jolt and like make him magnet, and then from the magnet like hit him out of that, you know. Um, Shark him off stage because he's probably gonna like try to defend himself with like a rising aerial or something. But if he ever has to up B or has to air dodge, what I love to do against Ness is send him off stage, grab ledge preemptively, and just react to either one of those. You know, if it's up B, just fast hold down here. Don't even care if you trade it. You're gonna trade and you're gonna spike him. You know. Or if you want to be more safe, you can drift in and hit him from the side. And if he has to air dodge, just react with drop down rising backer. You know, that's a rising active hitbox that's gonna two-frame him, and you're just gonna send them off stage. You know, so it's a lot more realistic to edge guard him than a lot of Pikachu's think. A lot of Pikachu's are very very bad at edge guarding him and keeping him in disadvantage, and also very bad at getting out of disadvantage against him because of the two-frame thing that I mentioned. You know, so the main reason it's even is because bro just kills very very insanely early. But if you are good at playing maneuverability, you're playing for stage control, you're playing inside of his mid-range, which is gonna bait him to whiff stuff, you know, you're gonna get some random good hits in, and that's gonna keep him in disadvantage, and you can randomly also cheese him very early from the edge guards, you know. So, in my opinion, a very very even matchup. Isam thinks this matchup is ass, like -2 probably. I know that H4 thinks it's like even or -1, leaning more towards -1, but I enjoy it. I think it's good. Can you play Ryu in this game, please? No, dude, I don't like the Shotos. Ever since I saw the auto turnaround, I was like, nope, this character is not for me. Are you going to SmashCon in August? Might go. I think I will probably go, honestly. Yeah. I think at worst -1. Yeah, I definitely agree. Like, I don't think it's -2 at all, you know? I just think we have very, very realistic openings and very, very realistic cheese and advantage state in this matchup. And we get rid of the disadvantage state a lot in this matchup if we ban PS2. And also, Pikachu's like banning Smashville against this character, but I actually like it because any single hit you get in Smashville, because of the stage being so small, just immediately sends them off stage. So that means edge guards, bro. So yeah, you know, that's very, very, very good for us. It's like an immediate edge guard. You don't even need to win neutral again, and you can just cheese them sometimes. Your set versus Echo Fire, I see the light with Skull Bash. Yeah, yeah, it's very, very good. After seeing your list, I can already tell you have Snake in +1 or even. We'll see, man. We'll see. I'm not gonna finish the entire matchup chart today, but you're close. You're very close. I mean, obviously, like Snake is very good. I jab the ledge and send the teal down the wall and they go off. That's very good against them, yeah, because they love doing the rising aerials and that just hits them, eats the double jump and they die, you know. Alright. Hello, Goat. What's good, Donnie? Welcome, bro. This is our last character for today because I'm tired, bro. The stream life is not for me, but I'll try my best in the future. Pac-Man. What do you guys think? What, like, people that play Pikachu, people that don't play Pikachu, what do you guys think? I want to see your opinion. I know what I'm gonna list it as, but I want to see the opinion. I want to say even, even-ish, or -1. Even or -1. Pack even. I feel like it is even. Okay, okay. So the consensus is even or losing. Okay. I think it's even or +1. Main thing being, because, so, Pac-Man relies a lot on people giving him time to set up stuff with the Hydrant, you know? And yeah, honestly, dealing with Hydrant is annoying, dealing with Bell is annoying. Sometimes he gets you in disadvantage state and you kind of have to guess, and then if he guesses right, boom, Bell F smash at 60 and you die, right? But let's talk about what Pikachu has in neutral, right? Pikachu sets up T-Jolt consistently, so T-Jolt just is a pressure tool, you know? As a zoner, getting pressured constantly is very, very, very annoying for him, you know? So we just get to set up a T-Jolt and run behind it, get stage control for free. And then, what does Pac-Man do, guys? What does Pac-Man do in neutral when he feels threatened? He jumps, double jumps, hydrants, you know? As a floaty character, you can catch his landing very, very good. Or if you see him jump at all, you just chase after him. He's probably gonna hydrant, like 9 times out of 10. And if he doesn't, he's floaty. Again, like he's gonna have to land with something slowly, you know? And you can just rising upper the hydrant and clank with it and actually hit Pac-Man with it, okay? So now you got him into a juggle state, you can keep that going, and if not, okay, reset neutral. Follow with him. Maybe you're gonna end up behind the hydrant and he's gonna end up on the other side of the hydrant. So now you're gonna like do T-jolt into Skull Bash, or down tilt into forward tilt, or down tilt into Skull Bash, depending on the angle you want, you know. Only if you don't think Pac-Man is gonna be able to reversal you by hitting the hydrant in that in-between timing and use it to his favor, you know. If he cannot do that, use the hydrant to your favor and see it like as an extension of another T-jolt, like a T-jolt that kills, you know. It will force him to do something. It will force him to shield. It will force him to jump, and all of those are very, very, very abusable, you know. Up smash will one-shot hydrant too. Yeah, but it's a bad angle. It's not like an angle that you're gonna use as an approach, and it's also very laggy. So be careful with that for sure. And if he wants to use it as a reversal, usually it's very, very obvious, you know. Like the most threatening thing that covers a lot of space and does a lot of damage. Oh yeah, for ledge trapping that's good. Actually, you never mind. That's actually real good. But the only thing that's very threatening about a hydrant zoning for Pac-Man is when he does it in with a mix of Galaga, in my opinion, and sometimes Bell. Because if both Galaga and Hydrant are coming at you, that's an active hitbox that kills, an active hitbox that does a lot of damage. You can eat 60 like that, you know. But the good thing about Pikachu is he can just jump in place, jump back, jump off stage, go below the stage, go to the other side where it's not active, and he's not gonna have enough time to set up something, you know. So yeah, you just get to like get out of that. Or you can just jump, double jump, quick attack to a platform, you know, or just quick attack to another side, you know. So what I'm trying to say is Pikachu has better mobility. Pikachu has constant pressuring tools. He has better mobility, and he can just choose to not interact with some stuff, you know. Obviously, then Pac-Man is very good at scrapping, you know, that part is definitely annoying. But a lot of the time he's just gonna nair out of shield, and you can just bet it out, you know. Fair is gonna put you into a tech chase situation, and then you can get into burst range, make them waste their projectiles. Then once they waste them, you can either like grab the fruit and just camp out with like T-jolts all the time, or you know, you can just be close to him, treat it like a charge shot, make him waste it, and now you're back to square one, like playing neutral normally. So why do I think he wins the matchup? Again, Pikachu doesn't get juggled. Pikachu doesn't really get edge-guarded or two-framed. If he's gonna get ledge trap set up by like a bell or like a hydrant thing, goes below, so avoids it, you know. Sometimes you might get belled because it's very, very active, and sometimes like they have it in hand, so it's very easy to set up. But now let's talk about what we have against Pac-Man from the advantage state. He does get juggled. He gets hit when he sets up hydrant. He gets, if his pellet when he's recovering gets hit by the T-jolt, he has to recover with trampoline, or he just gets hit straight up, you know. So that should be death generally. And he doesn't have any special ledge options, you know. So it's very normal game plan. So that all is very good for us. Obviously in the kill setup department, he's very, very good. In the kill power department, very good. Neutral keeps us on our toes and keeps us very careful a lot of the time. But then the key of the matchup is sometimes once we get the lead, we can just not approach at all, bro. We can just keep zoning with Thunder Yolts. We can grab a fruit and just zone with Thunder Yolts. Abuse quick attack, circle camping, go below the stage, whatever. And then once you get a good opening with the fruit, that might be a combo, you know, and that's advantage state. That's good damage. And then if Pac-Man gets a hit in, if it's not like Galaga, it's usually not going to be a long combo, you know. So I only think it's even or +1 because of the kill power and how solid his neutral is. But other than that, I think it's a pretty acceptable and simple matchup, you know. So I'm going to put him here. T has just been better than us for the longest time. Alright, so I think I'm gonna leave it there. And yeah, it's basically all I have to talk about today. So we're gonna finish it one of these days in the week. I'm not completely sure when I'm gonna do it. But if you guys have any finishing questions, I'll do 3 questions. And if not, I think I'm gonna leave it there for sure. Shoot the questions. Very informative. Cool. I'm glad, bro. Great to see you streaming again. Thank you, bro. I really appreciate it. What is your favorite matchup to play? I mean, obviously like the plus twos, right? But like a close-ish matchup that I really enjoy. I really enjoy fighting Ryu. I really enjoy fighting Ryu, honestly. I enjoy fighting any Sonic that isn't Sonic's. Um, Joker is one of my faves as well. Yeah, that's. I enjoy a lot of these matchups, and the ones that are here, I enjoy a lot as well. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie. The ones that I enjoy the least out of here are probably Icy's, because it's just such a slow grind. So yeah, your ride's been inspirational. I'm on the way too. Thank you, bro. I remember you from Smash 4, and you used to whoop me in Smash 4 with Pikachu. So now we're here. I'm always down to help you for sure. Alrighty, then if that's everything, guys, I'll leave it there, and I'll make sure to screenshot this if anyone wants to check it out. Let's see here. Wait, what happened? I'll save it as a screenshot for myself, and then I'll continue it in the future. Okay, it's probably gonna be this week. My sponsor wants me to keep streaming more often, so yeah, probably gonna do that and maybe play some games, maybe stream some tourneys. I'm not sure. I haven't been really enjoying streaming because I've been enjoying the grind and the Metafy grind a lot more. But yeah, I'll try my best for sure. And if not, that's another thing. I have a Metafy, guys. So make sure to follow me on my socials. Make sure to book lessons with me in Metafy. And yeah, probably gonna take the streamer life a little bit more seriously in the near future. Gonna work on videos as well. So yeah, we're gonna leave it there for today. Thank you for everyone that was here. Thank you for all the subs. Thank you for all the followers. And yeah, have a good rest of your day, good night, good evening, whatever it is to you.